So then, part 4 of my Stationeers playthrough on the super cold moon of Jupiter on Stationeer difficulty. We are right where we left off. The centrifuge is still trying to undo my misclick when I fumbled the furnace mixture. I was trying to make, I believe, Invar or something. But before I want to do anything, I want to first improve, do some quality of life things here. And I have something in mind. 2 things even. They will be a surprise. But maybe you can guess what they are. Based upon the colors involved. I need some cable. Did I toss that somewhere? Guess I have to make new cable. Maybe I should have prepared a little. I could have mined, I could have made some cables, but then again, so far there was basically no gap. You witnessed the entire thing, including my death. So that happens very often. Okay, let's do that then. Computer on and awkwardly click on it from the side. So I installed sensors earlier, in the previous video. So that we can now test the room temperature. Down here we already did the furnace room temperature thing, but now we want to check the room temperature. I mean, it's clear what I'm doing by now, I guess. So I want to not do this. Escape. Ah, fuck me. Yeah, let's do that again. Paste something. Press escape. Aha, okay. So that seems to be when I am in my first computer editing session. While I'm in a game session, then the game will fuck that up when I press escape. Escape should cancel the current line as long as I haven't left it. But it cancels the entire edit. That's an interesting bug. Okay, now we have that temperature. Let's... Oh, wait. I should use a different register for that. I mean, the temperature is only needed for a moment, but then again, temperature is kind of such a primary thing that I already have a value for that. That I'd like to keep that around. Maybe we will use that more. For example, to show it on some kind of display.
Hunger, caution.
So, reload, badge named, into this register from all the gas sensors on this logic network that have this name, which is only one, the value temperature, and all the values, if there would be multiple, will just be added. Or average, or whatever floats your boat. Since there's only one, it doesn't matter. Now I subtract into this register, from that register, this, so that Kelvin becomes Celsius. Now I want to see, branch less than 20 is the ideal lower temperature. Room too cold. In the case of room too cold, what do? We write badge named to the devices that haven't yet actually named. So where is my renaming tool? It's not on me. I should really learn to check there first. That is this name. Greenhouse. Too cold. Too hot. define CLSF light dash structure flashing light, I assume. Too hot. Scroll. And SBN. CLSF light on. If it is too cold, then that shall be on, and the other one shall be off. The labels are not ideal, but yeah, just trying to get it done. Now the same for when it's too hot. Cold is. I leave cold above hot because that's like the first concern that we have. It's irrelevant code flow wise, you know, that doesn't make a difference. But if I have to make a decision, then I think it should be a meaningful one, just like with the valves, in which direction they shall be pointed, even though it's still just the same valve. So in case of too hot, the cold shall be turned off and the hot shall be turned on. And this is kind of wasteful. I could use registers instead, but whatever. So export, nothing's happening, why not? It's 24 degrees. Huh. Let's see if I can control them with a mouse. I can. In other words, I did something wrong. So let's see what the flashing light's name is. Structure, flashing light. I think I said flashlight. Could that be? No, I didn't. So what's once again my blunder? CLS F light, ins F light cold, ins F light hot. Oh, right. Probably the chip housing flashed an error because I haven't yet done this thing here. Branch if less than what is less than 20. That. Also, but that's not relevant to the immediate problem, I forgot to check for the higher temperature. Room too hot. And like I said, cold is our primary concern, then hot. Export. Aha, so the chip is now in control. So we can assume that that will work. Now I would like to make also an occupancy sensor for this room, because as you can see I once again forgot to turn on the lights. Why shouldn't they just be on and off depending on me being in here? So let's make such a sensor, but I think I don't have the gold for that. I don't have gold at all right now. Right? Right. And gold is quite important for other things too, so we need to mine gold. Let's check on the plants. Thriving. Oh, okay, 2 are done fern-wise, but I'm gonna wait for seeds. Then we get 4 ferns. Here is our chemistry station. Then we would have 5, and then we would need 5 more so that we can make a pill, and then we could, like, rest easy, knowing that we can heal ourselves. Okay, one of the things that we're gunning for is to update these manufactories, so we can, for example, make the deep miner, and maybe I want to make another station battery. For that I need steel. Overall our resources are still quite low. We have 5 of these generators. It's not much, but the station batteries can be charged with 1 stack of coal easily. So mining is a concern, as in pressure. Or no! They don't have a sound yet implemented for that thing, and I accidentally clicked on the turn on button. Okay, the pressure is very low, so that thing is currently very not fun. Can we put some gas in there? And I should really not use CO2 for that, because CO2 is valuable for the plants. Instead I should use the most abundant gas I have here, O2. Or of course I can take any gas from the furnace. So what should it be? Again, what's the CO2 level? Oh, the CO2 level is rather low. That's not good. The plants use that stuff. Not much, but they're using it, and if there's none, they will die. And then I die. Again. For those who haven't watched, the previous video had one death of mine. Actually a second, but the second doesn't count. This basically was just a test, you could say, or failure of the game implementation. Right after the first death. And the first death arguably was just a little fumble and not like I planned wrong or some other thing. Oh, no. Light turned on because the sun's coming up, but we don't benefit so much from the sun being up because that big fat ball up there is Jupiter and it will be in front of the sun soon. Right? I guess. That's how it has been so far. So we need some gas. Didn't I have a reserve canister? I mean, there must be a canister somewhere here. Or is it that canister? Didn't I make two? I don't remember. Anyway, I think this slot there for the canister should always be occupied by one, so that it can explode in my absence. No, so that I can do some stuff with it. And the sun is gone. Guess where? It's nice what the sky looks like when the sun is there, but isn't. Doom gloom, you know? The big black ball up there. I actually have a suggestion for the general space implementation, for example on the moon. I think space shouldn't be black, but very, very, very dark grey. Because then the obstruction by the Earth would be understood by all the foreign participants, and also by those to behold that sudden gloomy darkness up there, to be Earth being in front of the Sun. This is a very simple implementation in comparison to also having to do some transition, which I think they should do anyway, and to also adding some halo effect for planets for celestial bodies with atmosphere obstructing the sun, which they, in my opinion, should also do. But then, you know, the grey-black thing, that's a good idea. So, I need some gas here. So I need a gas source. I don't need the filtration at all. I can just take any room gas by opening this outlet and abusing it as an inlet. I swear I just came up with that. Yeah. Huh? Oh, I actually overlooked the canister because it's as yellow as the pipes. Hilarious. Now I'm sucking stuff from the room air. Since the base is hermetically sealed, I'm decreasing the room's pressure and also I'm taking away some of the CO2, so that's kind of wasteful. But maybe it's still within reason. Yeah, also I still have my helmet closed and my filters and stuff on, so I'm still producing waste gas. Actually,
hydration critical.
That doesn't help at all. If I would open my helmet, then I would breathe the CO2 right directly into the room, because that's how that's implemented. But at the same time, my... What's happening? Oh, no, not that again. My CO2 is... my oxygen tank is so close to being empty that I want to kind of cause the threshold now. For whatever reason. Okay, that thing was up, and that was a good idea. Up until to the point when I killed myself by letting some poison out here, and then I guess that was the reason. How can we then clean this? Well, first we do what we already did in the previous video, or was it the one before that? Active liquid outlet. Pump all that stuff into the air, hilariously, until that is empty. Turn on the scrubber, wherever it might reside. And once we have enough steel, I should also upgrade our battery sets. Maybe I should be out there mining right now. Guess the timing isn't so golden this time. Golden, yeah, gold is right around the corner. I could take that still. But first, let's put a new battery in the scrubber. This is like the most inefficient setup I could have used for this situation, but that's the situation we're in. I'm building something and fighting, changing something on all fronts slowly, and yeah. But this also means that we're moving on all fronts. And sometimes there will be emergence steps, you know, it will just click. Something has been achieved, and that will have lots of positive consequences, and we will have that over time. There's also actually something in programming, when you develop this method and that class and stuff, and then it suddenly comes together. And things are happening. So, now we have water in there. Dude. Just emptying this into the room will not quite solve the problem, because... okay, that thing I would like to replace now with a turbo pump, if that is already achievable. Why? Because the turbo pump can be... the direction can be changed just by clicking. I guess I need the advanced thing, so out of the question, so let's just use a simple volume pump and put it in the direction that we need it. We need gold for that. Motherfuck. Okay. That's... oh, why is the pressure decreasing? Probably because it's getting colder? What's the room temperature? 26. Was higher just for a short moment when I opened this, implying that the canister was indeed hotter, and thus it was getting colder now, and that's the reason why I saw the pressure decrease. It still has some stuff in it, because I can't pump it empty just by opening it when there's surrounding atmosphere. And actually, I have observed, already told that in another video, that when you open it when there's atmosphere, it doesn't auto-close. But I think it does that when you do it in a vacuum. So I think they implemented this so that you can actually fill the canister just by opening it, exposing it to the air. Do we still have polluted air? Let's seek out, survey the entire place. This between space, between these two rooms, I should turn into an actual airlock. And or I should maybe carry this thing back here again and close the doors just in the meantime. Too many things at once more. Okay, the air has been cleaned. Now let's suck back the liquid into that thing. It's hilarious, this couch setup that I have here. It can get everything done tediously. Now this is filling with not polluted. CO2 is allowed, O2 is allowed, nitrogen is allowed, pollution is not allowed, and I believe volatiles are also not allowed. 4 liters already. Yummy yum. Oh, helmet closed. But actually food is the concern. Good thing the plant just showed an animation step. Maybe that means something. No, it's still thriving. Thriving. Currencies. Okay, we have that. Whoops. What did I do? No. What? Now there's some liquid. Damn it! I clicked the bottle from here and placed it in there. It's so chaotic. It's so damn chaotic in here. There will come a phase, maybe, I don't know what the future of this playthrough is, that I will, you know, make it better, cleaner and stuff. Okay, I need to eat something. So let's not do that. Instead, do what I said before. Nip, 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 nip. 5. My hand is empty. Okay. Anything to eat here? Did I potentially have an extra... No, I remember that when I died, I've also wasted 2 potatoes. Basically to counteract the fact that me having died and being reborn, I didn't have a spacesuit to start with, but I had no more hunger. And so that was cheating, right? But that was not how it went down. It was a misclick. A fortunate one from this perspective. 10 liters. See? That measure worked. This is now clean. Too bad there's no filtration yet implemented in the game. Yet is the question mark. Maybe they will just tell you, dude, you need to use phase change or whatever kinds of tricks. We're not going to do that because we want you to engineer stuff. It's a puzzle. I don't know. For filtering liquid stuff, that would be fine if that would be in there. Thriving, 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 thriving. So I wanted to get some gold while the sun is up. Congratulations, that was a success. But yeah, and some gas bottle. What is that? Oh, that's right. God damn it! I intentionally painted them differently so I would not be confused. Guess what? I was confused. So I had one bottle that was lying around here and one that I was filling there. Where it is? There it is. There's probably still liquid in the air because that doesn't go away so quickly from this larger room. Indeed. How do I then fill now this bottle? By, for example, closing... Oh, no, I didn't. I wanted to make a pump. Okay. You know what? I give up. Oh, this thing is on the whole time? That's wasting battery. Do we have enough batteries? No, we do not. That would be a thing, right? Thinking of everything so that I don't lose my base, but then I don't have electricity for the beacon. Pumping batteries, pumping coal into these, I mean, with a solid fuel generator is really productive because it produces 20 kilowatts and they can draw as much as they want, so really does stuff. I will wait until both are on 2 and then that's enough coal for now. I could also program the solid fuel generator to automatically turn on when my station electricity is too low, but that is not for now. I would probably then run into the situation that the coal has been used up and I don't realize, and that this thing turns on too often, thus masking the fact that our overall setup is still insufficient. This should be a fallback and not a normal thing. 11 coal. I should have... Well, 11 coal is enough for an emergency situation. So, how are we looking? Air tank, intentionally low. I wonder what happens if I breathe in water. I haven't done that yet. I hope nothing bad. Else I might have to flush this recording down the toilet. Or the helmet. I think there's some nitrogen in there, so we might run into trouble at some point. By the way, what is going on with my lungs? I guess they're slightly damaged. So a good thing if we get that phenoxyetone pill going.
Air tank critical.
Let's check that again. Temperature is alright. There is a little bit of nitrogen and a little bit of CO2. CO2 is not a concern, we have filters for that, but we don't have a nitrogen filter. And if I eventually have too much nitrogen in my suit, which will accumulate since it's not being removed, but stuff from the bottle will constantly stream into my suit, maybe I should actually not risk having to flush my suit out there in that super cold atmosphere and thus damage my lungs more when I don't have a reserve pill, but instead use a nitrogen filter right now. So, do we have enough electricity? Quasi. So let's get some gold. Into that full... Motherfuck, what did I do here? I'm so sure there's some coal around. No, it didn't take me? What the fuck? I want to take that with me. And when I take it with me, I should also test it. Why is it not doing anything? Oh, right, okay. For whatever buggy reason. We will find our way this time. And last time we also did. I mean, have you seen that? If you haven't seen the previous video, you should at least take a look at some certain things. Because last time, there was a storm. I mean, spoilers, you know, but whatever. This is part 4, so you're lost. There was a storm, and I actually knew there was a storm coming. Because we had that storm countdown going, and I was like, yeah, only about 3 minutes until there's a storm. That's enough for me to mine some stuff. And then I went out and mined some stuff, and then the storm came, and then immediately the vision was so low. It's not like I'm playing this game for the first time, I should have known that I didn't find the base. So then I was walking around in the storm, aimlessly and helplessly, and actually flying with the storm sometimes, because why not? Maybe we're lucky, you know. And then eventually the storm was over and the base was nowhere to be found. And was that when I died? No. I died when some pollution escaped from my furnace into the room, and I breathed that stuff in. My lungs were immediately so damaged that I couldn't use them anymore for oxygen intake, and so I died. Now, what happened after the storm is I somehow managed to point to choose the right direction. Isn't that freeing to just run around in any direction over here, out here, without losing the station? It is. And I found the base again. I did find the base. That was, I mean, the most unlikely event ever that I have experienced in this game, I think, in over 700 real hours. So, however stupid the previous video is, it stays up, okay? Yeah, right. Yeah, that's not gold, I know, but I haven't seen gold yet, so I take that stuff. I know I need that too. Iron, we want to make steel, we want to make Invar, we want to make Constantan, we want to make the advanced manufactories, and from there then we want to make the advanced furnace, we want to make the advanced ingots? What's the word again? It's alloys, yeah, it was on my tongue. The advanced alloys. We want to do all that stuff. Make it more comfortable. Put in some automatisms. Maybe even that when I come home I just undress my suit. But once, you know, it will be refilled and restocked automatically. They have such a thing in this game, actually, yep. But it needs some engineering. And also it needs a station in which you can risk to be naked, so to speak. And I can't risk that yet, because everything is so very makeshift. I even actually died. But I think this is otherwise a nice playthrough. I mean, it's Stationeer difficulty on Europa, which is already a kind of hard planet. So, but I must admit, even on easy difficulty, I have not yet managed to beat Venus. I have not. I have tried, and then I just, you know, edited the save game so that my oxygen tank from the shuttle, when I realized, oh man, I'm running out of oxygen, had much more oxygen, because you just give it tons more volume, tons more thermal energy, and tons more of the gas that is therein. And if you do that right, which is easy if you just use a factor of 10, for example, then yeah, then that works. But of course that's cheating, and we don't want to do that. I mean, the fun of this whole game lies in the fact that everything is real. So every little bit of cheating is completely counter to the spirit of this game. But Europa is already tricky to do, but we managed. It's working. On the road, baby. Meanwhile, the centrifuge is still doing stuff, but maybe it's now finished with that stack, and I should have put the next one in. Which would have been easy if I would have put up some chutes, you know? Is that the way you pronounce that? I actually don't know. Let's check that. Why is the browser window opening in a corner?
Shoot. Shoot.
Alright. Shoots. Then the centrifuge... Did I say it's a furnace? Sorry then. The centrifuge would then just take the next stuff in and work on that. And eventually we will get there anyway, once we have deep miners. Then we will have to set up sorters so that the well, it would work like this. Let me explain how that would work. Let's say we have one deep miner. We can have multiple, but let's just say one. Whatever it outputs, I will stuff that into a stacker. I don't know if that's necessary, but that's how I prefer it. I put that in a stacker so that it will definitely be 50, a ball of 50. No gold yet, it's hilarious. Everything but gold. And then I will pipe that into a centrifuge. Once the centrifuge is done, which these days is a bit more tricky because they just changed that a few weeks ago, so that the centrifuge can't just stay open all this time. I mean, if it's an electrical one, if it is the combustion one, then you have to power it down anyway once it's full to empty it. But now the electric one is also like that. So then I would pipe it into a centrifuge, and then on the other side we would then get metal, you know, steel and stuff. Not steel, iron, or whatever came out of the ground, degassed ores. And then I would stack that again, but not before I would first use sorters to separate all that stuff. And then we need like 5 and like 9 or 10 silos and 9 or 10 sorters, which are fun to set up. That was sarcasm. And then I would have stackers again, so that you know, when the sorter gets one little blip of iron, it doesn't go into the silo and occupies an entire slot, but I want a full silo slot. And then I would have a full silo of iron, another one of gold, you know, that stuff. And then we could draw from that, and then we could also do something I've never done so far. We could set up some automatic arc furnace thingy, which then could automatically keep our manufactories stocked and so forth. And I think that would be like one of the last things I do before I would then maybe try to get rocketeering done. And I should also maybe get trading done, which I don't need here. Trading is when you just place a landing pad, and then a communications computer, and then we don't have gold yet. It's hilarious. I went out to get gold. Maybe I should have gotten out to get some iron. So a communications computer and a communications dish. There are various sizes and so forth, but let's not go into that now. And then you would radio people which are out there in space, which are in communications range, and who's in communications range changes every once in a while. And then you would say, okay, I have communication established with you now. It's enough radio dish strength. So would you like land down here, please? And then they land, and then you can click on them and communicate with them, and then you get a trading interface where you can buy stuff from them. Depending on who they are, they will sell you this stuff or that stuff, and depending on who they are, they will want to buy from you this or that stuff. I mean, it's really hilarious. I have everything but gold, and now I'm about to get cobalt. Maybe I should just make my way back to the base, because I'm sure there was gold nearby. Maybe I will just stumble upon it. The previous episode at this point is actually uploaded and even crunched by YouTube, but I haven't switched it to public because I first have to do the chaptering. Could already have done the click, but you know. Does anyone else have the impression that in the last 1-2 days the calculation by YouTube of a video that you have already successfully completely uploaded has become much faster? Okay, where's the base? That way. End quote. Actually, yesterday, after all this stationeering and then some other stuff, I went to bed early, and then I thought, you know what, let's watch a film. And then I watched Galaxy Quest, the entire film, again. I don't regret it. One of the best films ever made. Not flawless, but it is. I mean, if you look at these layers of narration and of the emotion and of the story itself, great stuff. Oh, great. That will help me find gold. There's a trick finding gold and silver. I mean, there's a trick that makes it easier. It's not tricky to find because it's rare. On some planets it's actually not, I think. I think there's a lot of gold on the moon. But there's a trick to make it easier to find. And that trick is you fly up here and you move sideways and then you will see stuff glintering. I'm swimming through the air. Oh, okay, that was easy. But okay, let's see if we can find some other gold to demonstrate what I'm talking about. Yeah, there. Okay, I think you can see it here where the mouse is, and if you're watching it in 4K and 60 frames like I recorded it with maximum settings smoothly. If you move sideways, then you will see the glintering of the reflections for gold and for silver, and so you can easily spot there's gold and or silver. Oh, I have my light on still? Lame. Whip! What? Oh, right. Stupid me once more. And now behold, if I click with this mining drill on the... Where's the gold? Oh, up there. Then it will be sucked up. But the hydraulic mining drill does not do that. And I think also maybe the heavy mining drill does not do that. I know it. There was... I think it's more than one drill that has this like bug that doesn't do that, you know. Hope they fix that soon. In case you haven't heard, they will fix the tutorials now, which can't keep up with the game development, so that's understandable. But they should definitely have grayed out this tutorial button instead of leaving that up. Was some big message saying do not, instead roll back to pre-phase change with Steam and then you can play them. Currently they don't work, stuff like that, but they didn't, so that was a big blunder on their part, really. There were quite a few reviews in those 2 or 3 weeks where that said, the game sucks because the tutorials are broken, so I'm not even gonna bother with the game itself. That was a big blunder. Anyway, they're gonna fix the tutorials now, and they will also do some extensive survival stuff. And you know, survival is what does that mean? That means I need oxygen, I need the right temperature for myself and for breathing. There will eventually be some surgery. I don't know if this will already be part of that. Where there will be organs indeed, and currently there's only the lung. The lung is actually simulated to some degree here. I don't know to what deep of a degree. There's an idea here that I have here. I think what they should do is they should optionally play a heartbeat sound. Gold is more important. Why would they do that? Because... I mean, I said optionally, so if that annoys you, just turn the fucker off. But now they need to triage, you know, they don't have that time. Yeah, fuck you. I mean, talking about a good idea here that I'm not insisting they do right away, but I hope they eventually do that. And I will keep mentioning that in the forums until someone at least notices that. Which is swapping the battery out against one that is not empty. Which is heartbeat sound. Why? Because they already have something where when you run around for a while, your breathing will actually be faster. For some reason though, that doesn't increase your oxygen intake, so I think there's an oversight. I mean, they already have like the logic in there, but they don't apply to the gas conversion. So that is an oversight. But if you had not just the breathing, which is quite immersive, isn't it? I mean, the breathing is really well done, and the coughing too. And it's super greatly done. Super great done. If you compare them to any other game out there which might have such a thing. Now, if you had the heartbeat on top of that, then you could express more things that are going on with you without the screen having to flash blue or red or whatever, which I still would like to happen at some point. You know, more immersive impression and expression of what's really going on. Not a computer telling me that my lungs are suffering, but my lungs actually suffering like I'm experiencing that. Anyway, a heartbeat would make that more immersive, and I wanted to say something on top of the heartbeat thing. Let's go back.
Oxygen critical. Temperature low.
I need to go back to base. No, back to base. It's the opposite of what I just did. 61. I'm so lazy. I don't even... It was right over there. No, that's the GPS generation, right? I mean, I've been using Google Maps in my own hometown to know where to go, so... Why is it closed? Oh, because it's the emergency door. Oh, and there's a storm. Ah, damn. Couldn't that happen, like, a little bit later, maybe, please? Because I'm kinda running out of battery here. And I need... Yeah, I need the battery to find my way in the storm. I think that green light there is even the beacon. Oh man, will I die now because I can't get up there? Because I'm mined down here? That would be so fucking stupid, man. Ah. At least I know where to go now, so I can save that battery, which I can then swap into my actual one. And now let's turn off the light. Let's turn up the thrust of my jetpack maximally, so that I have more power to insist on my location, and that might have been important here. Well, it is a survival game, and that's what I just did. I survived. And they will work on that survival stuff more. Very soon. At least that's what they have announced. You know, plans change, but I think they are very strict regarding their plans. That's how they get this show on the road in the first place. So, step 1, gold. Smelted. Oh, I don't have to push the button. Yeah, I remember. That can be turned off. And actually, when I leave the base, I said the light should turn off automatically. How about turning that thing on automatically? Nice idea. So let's do that then. Okay, we will have electricity. It's actually bafflingly little. I thought the storm would blow that stuff in here now, but there's actually something to know about storm electricity generation here. If you look at this, you will find nothing. But if you look at this, you will find the upright wind turbine, and you can see how much electricity it produces, up to 200 watts. Actually, up to 800 watts. No, so 200 watts in normal situations, but when they storm, up to 800 watts. Now let's compare that to the large wind turbine, which takes a lot of space to place and is more expensive to make and so forth. So you might wonder, why bother when it only produces 500 watts, you know? Because on that area you can place more than 2 of the small wind turbines, I think. Because during a storm it produces not 800 watts, but 10,000 watts. So we can actually put up some large station batteries, not the small ones I'm using here, and then live from storm to storm. At least you can kind of do that and then stock up with coal or whatever. And once we have deep mining running, we can use a Mr. Fallback with some MIPS automation to always have electricity. Which will possibly change later, you know? Because they said already that... I heard that they want to eventually remove the infinite deep mining, but I'm not sure if they will replace that with something. I mean, there must be a better answer than we will just make it non-infinite, and that's also not what they said. I don't remember what exactly they said. Because imagine putting up all that stuff with the sorters and so forth, and then, okay, now we have mined this part dry, so let's move this entire assembly over the course of like 50 game days over there, and then mine for another 2 days. That would be stupid, and so that's probably not what they're up to. 2 potatoes, but no seeds yet. 2 ferns, 2 potatoes, no seeds yet. Okay, but you know, we're about to live larger, so we need okay, let's look at the centrifuge. Still working on that stuff. Dude. Why is it so slow? I mean, you can see processing 45 and then processing 44, but I mean, seriously, shouldn't it by now have counted further down from 50 than only to 45? I mean, we have played this now for... How long is the video by now? 45 minutes already. That's quick. I mean, Stationeers is an absolute time eater, but... I mean, what's the meaning of life, right? Let's talk about that later. Oh no! Glorious! This thing, when it opens, sucks that in because it's lying right in that place. That's what happened. I mean, that's what must have happened. Look, we have 63 grams of iron already, 30 copper, 63 nickel. And once everything has been digested, then I think we will have our even and clean numbers, like no decimal places. And then when I eject that, I will get not just most of that, you know, the integers, but all of it. And then we can do the smelting again. And this time I will try to not fuck that up. Huh. Okay. What's the next step then? I wanted to do some good automation. It's still smelting that. Yeah. One thing that I could automate, let's make some shoes. I think we have some shoes actually, which I have not utilized yet. There. 5. That would have been enough actually to do this thing, which we now realize wasn't even necessary. That's funny. That's funny. I will not do this now. Let's see if that works. Cool. I mean, that is a coincidence. Really funny. I want to smelt more stuff, no, smelt more stuff at once. So I have to go around the corner now. Corner. Which will then obstruct the switch with which I can turn this thing on. But I can just do that with logic. So if I need to turn that thing on, I just go over here and say turn it on permanently. I don't care. And yeah, and that's something that you can actually do with the station batteries. I showed that in another video. When you place them here on the floor, for example, this one and then the next one right next to it, you can turn this thing on and then place the battery. But then you can only place them from left to right. And what, you forgot to turn that thing on, you know? You need to switch them on. And thankfully, in this game, when you switch something on with logic, it will not just make the thing on, but it will also flip the switch. So it's always the same thing. The logic switch and this physical switch, they're always the same. And you can just switch this whole thing on in bulk with one statement in your MIPS, or actually two. One, to know what battery hash you have to use, you know, the one that stands for this kind of battery type. And then the other command that turns on all of them. So easy, yes. Okay. I want to do that shoot thing. Another corner. Now there's an extra space and there's an extra space. I should actually use window shoots here, but I don't have enough on me yet. We're not yet living that large. Now we need an inlet, which takes 2. Okay, what do we want to smelt? First some iron, please. And then some more iron. And then some gold.
Hunger, caution.
But didn't I have some gold here? Yes, I had. And now we see how annoying that is, that I don't have light in this room. Instead of turning that on, I will now teach the machine to do that for us. So, cable coil? No, we want a sensor. Answer. Does that work? Oh, answer works too. And that would be an occupancy sensor which reacts to me being in the room. In other words, let's toss that down. Here we can see the current atmosphere, but above we can see room 6. That number is just an arbitrary number created by the game. Now we're in room 5, now we're in room 4, so the doors kind of do that, you know? Even if they're not yet welded or something. So, room 6. So, the moment I occupy this, at the moment I leave this, I want to turn off the light and turn this thing on. Which is a bit sucky, because there's another room over there, so maybe that wastes electricity. Let's see how much this thing uses. The beacon uses, when it's running, oh my god, 300 watts. Huh. Well, then let's trigger that differently. When will that door be open? It will be open when I'm outside the base. So when that door is open, that thing shall be on. Haha. Programming rules, baby. But first, the occupancy sensor in regards to the lights? Or do I want... No. I can actually... Do I now not need the occupancy sensor? That would be also so hilarious. I went mining for gold, now I don't need it? Is that what's happening? Yeah, but it's still busy. Who pushed that button? The source code did. Okay, the light should be on whenever I'm indoors. I could also add the light sensor into the mix, you know. I could say the light shall be on when it is not day and when I'm not here. When I'm here. Anyway, let's do that then. Oh, the storm's over. How much did we harvest? Not too much, but... Alright. Okay. What is the name of that thing? The beacon structure beacon. Alright. And I have to address this door, which is thankfully on the same circuit. Its name is... Unknown. Oh. Ooh. Ooh. Let's check all batteries. Hard. Welder fuel, that's a different story, I know. Oh, very low, so we have to work on that front. That would be an interesting engineering task, I'm looking forward to that. Because I want to make a welder fuel anyway, to, you know, fuel gas just for the advanced furnace, but also because I want to have some heating in here, which will be an engineering thing that I haven't yet done. A room that is consisting of glass, or glass walls like these, and will have just fire in it. A furnace, whatever the name of the room is, Yeah, let's do some inventory maintenance. So this thing's battery is low, and that thing's battery is... Really? I'm not complaining. What? Okay. Just wanted to make sure that this other window that was open was even referring to that thing, so I removed it from the inventory. But also would have worked is slot switch, which I think should actually not work. Because a slot switch, why should it remove that? I think that should keep that split window up. It's still in my inventory. I can still click on it to split it. So why should the split window that I've already conjured, why should that vanish? I don't see the reason. Mining drill. Okay, the automatism. No, inventory maintenance. I want to get rid of all that stuff that I'm carrying. So 50 coal, 50 iron, then 50 iron, and again 50 iron. So now up here we have a 200 stack of steel waiting to be made. More coal. No! Still not enough iron. Not gonna go mining now, but... Oh, that's where the cables were. On me! That one was on me, once more. Programming then. Yeah, I wanted to get the renaming tool so that I can see what the door's name is. Copy. Do I need it again now? Maybe. Just take it with me. Let's put it here. You might be annoyed a bit. Do you have to play Stationeers like that with all this crap on the screen? Well, you can play it like this with nothing on the screen. You can also push a button that closes all that stuff. But I often have basically this open and definitely this. So this is a little difference then. I mean, as how I mostly play. Okay. Programming. Ah, right there. Do we already have the glass doors defined? Yes. Structure glass door. So define ins door AL outer. AL outer. Let's just do this. Hash. Don't worry, my actual source codes don't look like this. I'm making do here. So let's go to the bottom. We don't have too much space left. Later I might want to separate some stuff here out into a different chip, but and we need another chip then too anyway, because the lines are only 128. But there's still some room. So what we want now is we want to know whether the outer door is open. That seems to me not a too important value to have, like for example the room temperature, which would probably or possibly be needed later again. Also, it is not so easy to obtain. It's not just get, but it's also calculate. So that's what I want to keep around in the named register. But now I will use one of the temporary registers. I mean, they're all the same. Errors are 0, 1, 2, 3, up to 15. They're all the same. But someone showed me a trick in the Discord forums, or showed a trick, and I picked up on it, which is use your named registers, the upper ones, because it's very easy to remember the lower ones for stuff that you want to be doing. So you can just use these for temporary stuff, and these for more permanent stuff that you then want to name. Whether I write R0 or just the name that I picked out up there is irrelevant. Load batch name, register R0, class door, ins door outer, open, and then batch mode, I don't care. Now I know whether the door is open. Now we need to access the beacon. Define class beacon. I know I will only have one beacon, because why would I have two? Eventually maybe I might have some other stations on this planet, blah blah blah. That is so far out, I will not think of that now. Then let's rather make the mistake and suffer it later. So, structure beacon. Instead of going all ins beacon and, you know, not necessary. So what I want to do is, when the outer door is open, the beacon shall be on. And while we're at it, let's deal with the room lights simultaneously. Confirm, save. The room lights, which are of the type, I can look that up here in my logic chips, which I will then of course remove. You know, this chip goes away, that chip goes away, and all those cables go away. Haha, look, all that automatically. Sleepwalking. And that's the kind of improvements that we will make more and more, further and further, and will be fun. I mean, there's always a drive to build more. Is it a sandbox game? I disagree. It's not a sandbox game. I mean, calling this a sandbox game is like calling Half-Life a sandbox game, because you can choose what corridor to walk down or whether to pick up that medkit or not, you know, except in a more complex fashion. So, that is that. Now, what am I connecting to? I'm connecting to wall light long wide. Wait. Is that the name I'm looking for? No, what I'm looking for is structure, light, long, wide. And when you click on that, you can copy it, except if the name is too long, so it's only shown there with ellipses. That's a bug they still have in there. They haven't secretly fixed it already. So I want to turn all of those on and off. We can actually do that right here in this block, because it's like meaningfully connected. Long lights, dash. So when we want to leave, we want to turn off the beacon, but turn on the lights. So in any case, we will have a switch here that says either it's on, either the door is open or not. So branch if less than or equal to 0 to door outer door is open. Outer door done. I know it's not the ideal way to label this, but it will get the job done, and you know, maybe I would put a bit more effort into this if you weren't watching. It's your fault! But, I mean, I want to keep this rolling. So, we want to jump to... No, we don't. We want to write batch, but not named, because we don't have a name available, and we want to write to all of them. Class beacon on... if the outer door... Oh. Wait. Outer door is closed. So, if we read from the door that the value in the door is 0, if the value is less than or equal to 0, I mean, I can just say equal, okay? But I prefer to be on the safe side. This increases the probability that it will work in case they introduce some bug or there will be some floating point error or whatever. So, branch less than or equal, R0 is 0, then the door is closed. 1 would mean it is open. In the case it is closed, we want to turn the beacon on. Because... no, we want to turn the beacon on when the door... Okay, too much at once. But I know it's inverted. So, right badge, long lights, off. And this should already almost be the entire thing. Save, edit, and check. Load badge named. From the outer door, glass door, outer, whether it is open, less than or equal 0, then the outer door is closed. If the outer door is closed, then we turn the beacon on. Right, I forgot that. And we turn the lights off, and vice versa. We can test that now easily. Class beacon on. When the door is open, we want to turn the beacon. Oh, God. Man, that is... Okay, can we strike the last minute from the record, please? I was just rambling on like I know everything, and then I was talking only bullshit. I'm sorry. That's what happens. So if the outer door is closed, less than or equal to 0. When the outer door is closed, that means I'm indoors. Because I went into the inner door, into the inside, and so the inner door will still be open so I can easily access the batteries. The inner door is open. The outer door is closed. When the outer door is closed, the beacon shall be off, the lights shall be on. When the outer door is open, so that I'm outside, the beacon shall be on, the lights shall be off. Thank you, sun, for spoiling my moment here. Or Jupiter, rather Jupiter. It's not the sun's fault. Jupiter is such an asshole. So... I mean, it's a gas planet. Why is it not translucent? So, let's toggle this. Pumping and... opening. Okay. So far so good, except I think, yeah, the beacon also has a data connection and that is not yet connected. But the light is already working like that. Nice. And we can also see that we can see rather well during the day. So I think I want to add into the mix whether we currently have daylight. But we would have to use the light exposure, you know, because of stupid Jupiter. I can't just use the angle. That's not a problem. Let's do that. I did that in another video already, but it's always fun. I love programming. If you don't love it, shame on you. Yes. How is it least in the way? Cable. What's that? Okay, beacon is now on. Let's flip that. Door is now closed. No? Well, it's an immediate effect. So, now we can actually leave the station and the light will then automatically turn off and the beacon will automatically turn on. What it won't do is give me that thing into my inventory automatically, and so let's forget about that problem once and for all. Ah, right. Let's flip that. Okay, how can I do that then with the light? Well, this is basically an AND filter, you know? Definitely when we want to go outside, the light shall be off. But when we're inside, the light shall be on if the door is... well, the light shall be on if we are inside and there is no light coming to that sensor. So, I think that's rather easy to do. And I will use a new statement now that I have never used before. Solar irradiance. Let's look at the light, daylight sensor. Is the video even recording? Map! It is. Over an hour. Alright. Solar irradiance. That should be it. And let's first see if we need to harvest something. Yes, we do need. I mean, we're kinda hungry, right? That's even up there in the corner. Why is it moderately well growing? Why is it... okay, moderately well towards fruiting. Because, I mean, I guess we have to deal with a problem here. Maybe we have too little CO2. Yes, we do. But let's first see if that is indeed the complaint that thing has. Let's go to all the seeds. So we need to also get some gas mixture thing going here. Growth efficiency is not so good because the breathing efficiency is not so good. If you scroll down here, we can see present is only 0. Okay, we can see here 1% is required of the carbon dioxide, and here too. So we kind of have a catastrophe incoming, all our plants dying. But let's look at that and open the waste canister. And we shouldn't live on the edge like that, really not. But that's how we can deal with that problem then. Oh, right. See? It's still open. Wait, if I click here, it closes, which means currently it's open. So what happens if I close the helmet and thus breathe into that thing? Aha! It now... okay, they have that in there actually. Open. Now put the airflow on. Okay, filter. Aha, then it closes. I've never observed this. Funny. Close. What's happening? We need something to eat. Good thing we have something to eat. Seeds, seeds, potato seeds and potato seeds. Now let's take a potato and bake it. One potato only, Vasily.
Hydration critical. Hunger caution.
Do I actually have some water still? I need to harvest some water out there. 10 liters, that's good, but should be more. Not a problem for now, just, you know, in principle. Oh, what does this look like in here? But everything is meaningful and everything is working. Okay, let's continue with that. We have also... oh, thriving towards fruiting. That not yet? What about this fern then? Fern seeds. Fern, 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 fern. One more. Only one more, then we can make the pill. I wish I had that now, that would be nice. So let's keep harvesting the potatoes. Actually no, they will start to rot, but I can still leave them in here, then that will not happen. But this will also mean that our supply will not be regrowing. Until then they will just be lingering here, and they can also potentially die if something nasty comes out of that hole there. Maybe I should do it. Okay. So let's keep harvesting this stuff and maybe put up a what's its name? I don't know what its name is actually. What was I going for? A fridge, yes. Nah, that actually works. God damn it, I never used this. Learn something again. And how long is it still? 35, then 34, then 33. And then we should have, and so forth, the even numbers. I could maybe... I mean, this room is currently open for whatever I want to do here. So I could make like a living place in here. This would be my place where I enter. There's some necessary stuff here. But this could become a central hub, you know, it's a square and such. This thing is harmless, it can stand in this room, so we have some like multi-purpose space. I could put up some benches or a bed or whatever, and most of all I could put the fridge here. So let's make a fridge. Where do I make the fridge? Probably electronics. We have the fridge small, which uses 10 watts. The large one uses 250 watts. That is actually a factor. I never made the small fridge because supposedly it also keeps your food less fresh. But I guess we should make one now, so we can experience that too. That's a good idea. Also, electronics printer tier 1 and large needs also tier 1. Okay. Fridge. Iron. Ah yeah, the thing with the automatic light. But, you know, the food intervened, we need to deal with that food stuff first. Sometimes I put that thing away and still have it running. You can actually hear that, and you can hear that on other people too, which means that in some multiplayer situations I told someone, dude, I think your drill is on, and it was. What is that? Maybe I should have read the instructions manual after all, Essentially a heavily insulated box that allows users to pipe in any desired atmosphere. The recursor minibar fridge was a simple solution to the problem of food decay. It stores a small number of items at any temperature you can muster. Yeah, guess what? We have some kind of cool stuff out there. Actually, there is a chart, which I can't show you now. I would else have to switch my video settings here. That shows that if you have gas that is of very low temperature, but not 0 Kelvin. You know, I don't know where it was, like minus 100 Kelvin, and then a range of like 100, and you know, the warmer it got, the more the chart went upwards slightly, and then suddenly it jetted upwards, the same on the low side. So basically we have a line, a horizontal line, which has like a cavity, a gap in between it. That is when you should the range of temperature when your food will stay fresh. And the temperature here on the planet, 160 degrees minus, is actually kind of on the upper end of that, but it's still in that cavity. Since it's oxygen, it is not as good as nitrogen to store your food in, but that is only a minor multiplier on a value that will, due to the chart I just explained, be very low anyway. And so what we can do, we can just pipe outer atmosphere into our fridge. The question is, what happens if I do that? If I open the fridge, will it actually get into the station? I have no clue. And, essentially a box does not have electricity? Well. Maybe they expressed it intentionally, like whatever atmosphere you can muster. As in, if that's open, maybe we'll actually come into this room. I'm not sure if that is the case. If so, we will of course quickly close the fridge. And what happens if the fridge doesn't have to be opened or closed? I mean, what if the fridge, if it's closed, still all the atmosphere escapes? Then my base will be kind of fucked. So, we do that experiment in a different location. And actually, you know, even if no one would watch these videos, and according to YouTube, some people actually do. Jokes on them. I would have just done that in that place, and then I would, if that would have failed, just reload it. But now I'm doing it properly. So thanks to the potential you, I'm playing the game like I should. Pipe coal. An upside of doing it in the room that I want to do it in also is that here I can easily get...
Temperature low.
Oh man, my lungs are damaged. Oh man, I'm risking my lungs too much. 1 fern away from having the pill, then I will need it immediately. But okay, I mean, we're accelerating. We're kind of reaching the highway and we're stepping on the gas, and then things will be more smooth. Now, the fridge. Fridgy, fridge and fridge, fridge. There we go. No, stay with me. Room temperature, -23. Pipe cowl. Can I do that from here? Maybe? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It might actually work with the stupid fridge. Well, it works. Room temperature is increasing because the gas that I'm excreting by using my jetpack is increasing. Now let's see what happens. Oh, it's harmless. And if I point in there, we can see -49. Oh, that's cool. So it doesn't bleed into the room. Or does it? Room temperature is... No, it's the room temperature is increasing. Yes. For whatever reason. So that's probably unrelated to the fridge. Good thing then, we can keep 2 stacks of potatoes fresh. Or 2 potatoes? I am not sure. Or 2 stacks, 2 stacks. Good. I very much like this. Oh, what's that? Did you see that? Did you see that? This is the room temperature sensor, and while we had the door open, the cold air from there streamed into the room, touched the sensor. That cold air indicator thing turned on. So now we have a warning light if it gets too cold. Yes, baby, that's how you play this. Now, where's my fridge? Actually, I can put up the fridge right here because it's so tiny. Oh? Ah. Yes, let's measure the temperature in the fridge. No temperature. Ah, come on. Temperature inside the fridge. Cold enough for my taste. Okay then, let's harvest all the potatoes. Then we put them in the fridge so that they stay fresh. If I toss them down, you see in 5 real-world hours they will have decayed. And in there, 11 hours. I think the large fridge actually does that even better. Maybe that's because of our atmosphere mix. I'm not sure. I mean, I know that the large fridge is very good, but I'm pretty sure that I've heard that if you do your own fridging, you know, with using that chart and using the right atmosphere, for example, nitrogen, then you will actually get even more out of that. But very important, just tossing it in a vacuum will not help. I mean, I don't know why that is. That actually makes some physical sense. I mean, if there's no pressure, then, you know, in reality, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, if you make your own fridge, that's even better. So, hypothetically, this fridge could be better than the large fridge if you supply the right atmosphere. Maybe. I don't know. That's me rambling. So, how much seed do we have in our reserves? We have 3 potato seeds, which is not too much. Maybe I should keep more there. But I now want to replant everything instead of using potatoes to replant. I could also just put a potato down. But I want to keep those around. So, from now on, we can actually see that's what we have. 49% of our last can of soup from our lander, but now we are independent, as long as the base doesn't blow up. So, that was the food concern, which interrupted us doing the daylight sensor thing. Solar irradiance, I believe. Solar irradiance. Can't copy this for some reason. Solar irradiance. Solar irradiance. Huh. Yeah, I'm indoors. The light's on. What to expect? Edit. Pause. I wonder if there's already daylight. No? Wait. Let's see. If we look here, we can see the solar irradiance is 0 watts. Now, if you're quick, because the sun is coming up right now, maybe we can get the show on the road and observe it happening immediately. Where's the daylight thing? Here. Day angle. Alias day radiance. Day radiance. Whatever. So, let's do that. Doesn't matter which registers they are, as long as I always used this to address these meanings in that respective place. Day angle, day radi. So, plant light. Now there's no clean way really to place this, because I'd rather have it here, where that is being used already. Oh! Yeah, solar irradiance. Day ready. Now we have that here, and then down here we can make a decision, which is first I need to load the value. I have the value already. So first I need to make the decision, and that's the new thing I want to do. Set what was that again? Ah yeah, that's it. Okay. I want to branch if not equal, or if equal, or if less than, or if less than or equal, or if greater than or equal, or whatever else is there. Branch if 0, I think, also exists or something. I'm not sure how that works. Anyway, that's B, that's branch, but we can also do S, which is set. And when we do that with these branching thingies, then we can say if the day irradiance is equal or less than or equal day irradiance to 0, then now I have to give a register, for example R1. And what happens here is that okay, whenever I have a branch statement like this, then I'm making an either or decision, which means that internally you can think of this like a dude sitting on his table and he's thinking about this stuff, and then he's writing down the consequence 0 or 1, and then based upon that consequence they will go there or not. So this 0 or 1, this logic value that emerges, it also emerges here. And here we don't do branching. We just write the value that emerges into that register. Which means that down here, where we say we want to turn the light on, we just want to not turn the light on or off. We want to turn the light R1. I'm not sure if what I did here is correct, but the concept is correct. So, when the outer door is open, then I'm outside and the light shall be off unconditionally. But when I'm inside, then the light shall be on only if there is if there is no solar irradiance. If there is no solar irradiance, then it's dark. Then I want light. Then I want a 1 here. So if the solar irradiance is 0, then I want a 1 here. So if the solar radiance is less than or equal to 0, then I want that. Then the answer to that question will be 1 and will be here. So export. And what happened there? Okay, did it wrong, I guess. Pause. Come on. First thing that I will of course try is, what if I flip this around? What if I say not less than or equal, but greater than? Export. Huh. No difference. What's my mistake? Solar irradiance. Now we have solar irradiance here, 54 watts, and that will never change until the sun has gone away. That's the amount of sunlight we get down here. That's why you need a grow light. On Mars this is also not very high. These days you do need a grow light, but that's I think mostly because of eclipses? I'm not sure. Oh no, because it's so low on the horizon? I don't know. Anyway, that's solar irradiance now. And somehow it should be 0 now. It is 0 now. Aha, eclipse working, but our code is not working. Why not? I know I did that in the other video, and I guess I made maybe the same mistake again. Load badge named into this register, which is reserved 15, 14, 13, 12 from the light sensor, the solar irradiance. And I mean, could I be confused in regards to the value? Dude. Quite a few bugs here. I mean, these primary bugs, I mean, as in, if you stumble over them all the time, they should really prioritize them. Damn it. Anyway. Mode. Vertical. Activate. Horizontal. No, it must be solar irradiance. Why can you turn them on and off? Anyway, solar irradiance. Why doesn't this work? Maybe it's a logic mistake. I mean, this new statement that I said I've never used before. So, to test that, let's just write, pause, the solar irradiance that we're supposedly getting from the sensor to the housing, and then we can see what's happening. I know I'm already writing a value to the housing, but this is only for now. This should override that. And I tested in another video that, I tested already that works. There's no problem. It's like an internal register. They ready to SB setting. No, DB. Okay. Export. So 0 right now, and once the sun comes back, I hope that we will see here a non-zero. If so, then all I have to do is fix the code. I mean, fix the way I work with that value. Okay, next step. It's funny how I came in and said, let's do some automation for the lights at first, and then it's already 90 minutes. 90 minutes. Okay, what's next? This stuff can go away. Actually interesting. Now they're competing over the light. Actually, is that maybe my problem? Maybe that is all working, but I'm overriding the light's situation always with these chips. Maybe that's all that happened. That wasn't a programming error, possibly. Let's clean up the cables. What's the centrifuge doing? It is spinning, but it is done. Oh, look at that. We have 100 iron, 100 nickel, 49 copper. The copper was what I blunderously tossed in there. Now it's flashing an error because I opened it, and you can't do that. It will do that also when it is full, which is currently not, and the lever will stay closed. It's not like it's opened automatically or whatever. It will just spin down like it's doing right now, and then you can open it to empty it. And only then you can spin it up again. So then, we were trying to make Invar. Then let's do that next. Ah, yes. Zero. What the fuck? Huh, 23. That's not the reason. That's not the reason. What is my mistake? No, that was... damn it. Cancel. Edit. Why am I not getting the correct value here? Oh. Oh, I think I know what the mistake is. I used the statement wrong. Yeah, that's what's going on. Pretty sure. SGT. I mean, I said that in another video. And now I've forgotten it myself? Stupid. That basically the first thing that any such statement wants is the target. So the target must be this. And then I want to compare. And then we're going to compare, you can see here, register or number with a number. Oops. And that should be it. If is greater than... Oh no. Oh. So, right into register R1, which we're using down here. A 1 if the radiation is less than or equal to 0, because then it's dark and we would like to have light. Export. Forget. Okay, hopefully this will work. This should now be again... Why do we have 0 here? Didn't I write something to the housing? One thing was the day angle and the other thing was... I don't remember and also don't care. Oh, look at that. Nickel. Nickel. Huh? 49 nickel? Excuse me? I was promised differently. I mean, if I would rewind the video now, which I can't, I would see we had 100 nickel and 100 iron. And now I'm getting 49 nickel instead of 100. What the fuck is this shit, man? I mean, I just lost an entire... This is wrong, man. There's nothing in it. There's actually nothing, not 0.1 or whatever. There's nothing in it. Yeah, but why then is there nickel missing? I mean, I can, like... Except if this thing possibly doesn't recover everything from such a thing, from dirty ore or whatever, but it does. But I cannot appreciate that if it says X and then it does Y. Why would it do that? 1 iron is missing and 1 nickel is missing. We do have a bug here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we need 1 more nickel and 1 more iron. I think we might have that. Actually, that's not even necessary, because with the gold it's an even mixture and we would have that now. I Are you kidding me? I don't have some more iron? Oh man. That's stupid. Okay, then whatever. Even mixer, like I said. Meep. Nope. Iron and nickel. Let's see if that was indeed Invar. Invar. Iron and nickel. High pressure, 1.2, 1.5. And you go away. You hooligan. Do I have fuel on me? I do. It's always risky to tamper with the furnace. The advanced furnace is so much easier to use. Yes, one of the next goals that we have after I have the Invar, which I don't even know what the fuck I need it for. What about Constantan? I know I need the... Okay, let's see for the electronics printer mod. I think that was not Invar but Constantan. Yes, and so let's do that then too while we're at it. And what do we need for this? Copper and nickel. I have copper, I have nickel. How much nickel do I have? 29. Then let's take 29 copper and do that too. It's not much, but it's better than nothing. And maybe it will be sufficient. Actually, this should give me 58. And how much do I need for the electronics printer mod? Ah, come on. I have to change the text so that it can search again. That's a stupid bug, man. All these in-your-face bugs. Why are they still there after all this time? That everybody runs in all the time. And these annoyances, why don't they go away? So we need 8 Constantan. To make all 4 mods. Okay, let's see. Mod. I don't know if that works like that. Tool, printer mod. Electrum Constantan. It might be the same amount for all of these. So I guess then with what we have here, hypothetically later, we can make all the mods. And that would open the door to a larger world, right? Episode 4. Greater world. What's the term? Constantan. What does it need? High pressure once more, so we can benefit from that once we have it. And the temperature must be... the temperature, we don't care. So we first make the Invar and then the Constantan. Are we equipped to make that happen? Helmet is still closed, stupidly. What's with the CO2, by the way, before we get lost in doing some more stuff? Let's place them here. CO2, motherfuck. Okay, do we have something that we can abuse for that? Here we have some CO2 at room temperature, and here we have some, 89 degrees. Would be a bit warm, though warmth has never been a problem here. Oh, which reminds me, now I know what I need the Invar for. I wanted to make a digital valve, and that required Invar, I'm pretty sure. To cool the room. Digital valve needs... the kit, okay. Invar, yeah, okay, then we get that on, going. Pum 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 pum. What to do first? We need some CO2 here for the plants, so let's make sure that we don't do that wrong like last time. Any waste gas shall be piped away. I want a CO2 that I want to pipe straight into the room. This shall be closed, this shall be open. And actually there's no more water in there, because since it was open to the room, this little gatherer over here, which is done now doing its... Oh my god. Guess what? We have the same fucking problem again! Well, this means that we need to do something fundamentally about that. Not now, yes, but later. I guess I will just move this entire stuff into a secluded room that is maybe for living, you know, a living room or something, which has its own airlock, so we can always survive if shit goes down. And maybe then I will actually set up also a spawn in there, so that if we respawn, which I don't aim to do, we can start in there. But what's the next step? CO2 now. CO2 filters in there, it's still rich. that is open. If I flip this thing on, it will immediately draw from this pipe, which is at room temperature. There's not much stuff in there. So... Oh! Look what just happened! The light turned on.
Hunger caution.
Solar irradiance 0. Nice! We have automated lighting. And does this AND stuff still work? I guess so. Why shouldn't it, right? I mean, the source code pretty clearly stated that this is the way it would behave. Interesting, the grow light just turned off, implying that the sun is now no longer... What's happening? Did you see that? I don't know what just happened there. No idea. Why is the air streaming? Oh, that's probably some pressure differential, and that's the way it's animated then. Oh, okay, where was I? What I was trying to say, 90 degrees. That's what I used as the angle for this thing. I could actually go for the irradiance. No, I can't. Because I don't want to turn that light on when the sun is not there. I want to turn it on when the light is there, when the sun is there. And regardless of that intransparent, opaque, stupid piece of shit up there. So, which is actually nice, if you look closely. I mean, graphically, they outdid themselves in some places of this game. I mean, it really looks like there's clouds and stuff and gas streaming up there. But in the forums recently they said, I believe it's just like some simple shader thing on a texture. Really? That's what it is? That's not what it looks like, man. Well done. Okay. Daylight's smelteria. Ah, yeah, CO2. Which has decreased further. Which means that the plants are moderately... Oh. Seas. No, let's not get distracted. See, we need some more automation, separating things out. So let's turn that on. CO2 ratio is increasing. Pollution not so much. And I need to drink again. So let's flip this thing on, which will make the room hotter. And give us lots more CO2 from here, which has still 3 megapascals to give. This overall process is probably slow because there is little pressure differential. I could add a volume pump there, and that will make that a lot faster, I think. And I think that is also a worthy experiment to do right now to find out, so that we gather knowledge about this. So, a volume pump which needs gold, which we now have. It needs more iron. Ah, I want to make a nice stack of steel. But we need iron all the time, so... Oh, right. That. So let's deal with the plants then, or first maybe with my health crisis? Yeah, which reminds me, we have already seen that this thing nicely gathers like water and other liquids also, which is the problem that we're seeing here, from the air. And what we could do then is we could just have a secluded room with some warm atmosphere. Then we put this thing up. Then we toss down some ice that we gathered from out there, which will then give us water in the air. Actually, will it? I think so. There should be water in the air because the game doesn't yet support puddles or something, so it will always be in the air as mist. And then connect that directly to the bottle filler, and so we don't need a crusher in the first place, I think. I've never tried that. We should do that actually once we're dealing with that crisis there. One crisis hunts the next. Let's deal with the seeds. And over here we have these two which were out of timing. Seeds. And then Good. Pointing at you. Okay, now let's look at this. So here we have 1 silver, 9, and now 10. Now we can see it will produce pill medical. Okay, we have a pill. Now you see how that works, and now we have a pill. And our lungs are badly damaged, and so I will take the pill right away, wasteful as I am. Also, let's replant these, and I realize now I have 1 extra. So, I mean, this is actually a good way to store them, because they don't rot on this thing, which seems slightly cheesy, but let's ignore that. So we're all set. 9 more phenoxyetone, next pill. And this one I will now take. Behold. The atmosphere you are breathing is causing damage to your lungs. That is not the truth. That is in the past. Or was it the past? Right, so the volume pump. If you now do this, the gas will be retreating into the respective sides, like this one or that one, which means if the pressure in here would be high, then since 2 gas networks are emerging, this gas network on the right would afterwards have a higher pressure than it had before, and if it was already at the limits, then we might actually get pipe burst. That can happen. I mean, not immediately, but pipe damage at least. That's the direction I want to pick. Now let's use some cables. Man, I wish there was a rewind button. If I press too often, you know, 1 backwards. That would be nice. Okay, now we have the volume pump. There's a little problem here that I'm just realizing, which is if I don't make use of whatever I pump into this place, then the pipe will get too much pressure. Maybe I should have used, instead of a volume pump, a pressure regulator, but those are much slower. Actually, someone told me in the forum recently the following, which we can assume is fact. If there's lots of stuff in here, a volume pump is good. But if there's little stuff in there, then if you want to evacuate that, a volume pump is shit. What you can do instead then is use a pressure regulator, because those are good at drawing a vacuum in such a situation. Okay, condensation is happening in the pipe. Yeah, that is damaging the pipes, man. Whenever there's liquid. Okay, let's leave this open. Nothing is happening here because there's nothing being pumped, because this thing also, of course, acts as like a wall through which nothing can go. Now let's see how fast things are changing in this room. I'm not sure if it is faster, but I think it is faster. We can try that by just putting the pipe in there again, now that the memory is fresh. No! Yes. Okay, it doesn't seem to make a difference. Temperature is still increasing. Interesting. 2 megapascals. So even though there's 2 megapascals pressure, that did make a difference to like increase the pressure over yonder, and you know, that didn't change anything. 25 degrees Celsius. Yeah, the plants will have something to breathe here. Okay, let's put the pipes away. Then we wanted to smelt something. Of course, I turn that off first. That shall be closed. Actually, we could make use of that situation to suck that pipe dry. We're actually emptying the entire furnace right now. and everything is, you know, goes out there. Let's close that. Now the pressure in this exhaust pipe is increasing, and if it does too much, let's take a look at pollutant, which is a rather fickle stuff. You can see that, let's use Celsius, that at a temperature of, oh, sorry, that was stupid. At temperature of minus 100 degrees, below that it will be a solid. It will be frozen. And if that's any pipe, the pipe will die. If it's a liquid pipe or a gas pipe, doesn't matter. This is solid. This is liquid, and this is gas. This is the pressure. The higher the pressure is, the higher the temperature has to be, so that this is still a gas and not a liquid. So if we have a pressure, if we have a temperature of like 20 degrees, we have room temperature here, right? That was in the pipe. Then the only pressure that's required to liquefy that stuff is 3.5 megapascals. That is not higher pressure. A pipe can take 60 until it bursts up, and starting 50 it will start creaking up, but it will not take any damage. And this is not 50 but 3.5. Anyway, so let's see what happens here. Once we reach 3.5, since we... oh, at 70, you see that the temperature is very high. Room temperature 27. You can see on the... let's pause this. You can see here that the game nicely expresses that actually some gas is in the process of becoming liquid, and there's some liquid gas already. I mean, this transitionary state that the game expresses this, and also the opposite of that when it's evaporating. I think that's like this sign inverted. Oh no, that's like wavy lines. That is very cool. That is so very helpful. I mean, the phase change they implemented super well. Okay, now you see the pipe stress is increasing because there's liquid stuff in the pipes. And once there's too much, the pipe will actually start taking damage. I think there's at 2%. But before that, the light will turn on. I actually wanted to say that, but I meant a different light. Because the room is getting warmer. Okay, I think we've seen enough here. Let's open that. See, the liquid stuff is gone, the stress is gone, the gas is gone, and we have 8% CO2 already. That's fine. It's not good for us for breathing, actually. In this game, yeah, but later they will probably, I would assume so, probably implement that you need to have some atmosphere like we humans actually need it, which is about on sea level that is 20% oxygen, maximum of 4%, rather less than that, 2% maybe, CO2, and the rest nitrogen or some other gases that are harmless. You know, nitrogen doesn't react much, and CO2 is what we breathe out and what the plants breathe in. Oxygen is what we need. The base is coming alive here. Empty. How is the filter doing? 95 still. Let's look for the plants. Huh. We still have fern seeds. Let's toss them here. Or is there actually room for a shelf here, for a rack? I need to eat. Ah, sure. Of course. Some kind of initial rotating correctly, kinda, probably, automatism would be nice here. Or at least if the game would respect whatever rotation I had chosen at some point instead of resetting it all the time, even while I'm playing the same session and picking up a material within the last 10 seconds. But alright. So this is extra stuff. Our reserves are over there. Okay, let's eat some potatoes. How long will they still be fresh? 10 hours. So roughly when this video ends. By the way, how are we doing electricity-wise? See, that's a concern actually, that our electricity doesn't go too low, and for that we can once again use our programming. So we already have the logic wired up here. We know that we just have to batch read. We know that we can just average these values with one little word in that one line. Therefore, the question is, what do we want to do with that knowledge? How do we express that there's something going on here? That there is some problem here? I have a funny idea. No, that would only work during the day. I wanted to flicker these on and off all across the base. That would make it clear, you know. Would also kind of simulate a blackout. It's not so hard to do, really. But the problem is, is it? Let's do that. So, station battery. I think this is just structure battery, but I'm not sure. Station battery, interesting. It also seems to... let's see. Huh. That is interesting. Why does it find this then too? Structure battery charger. Ah, it looks for that word too. I had no clue. That is the ones, and that is structure battery indeed. You might think that the battery charger is then battery charger and battery charger large, but that's not true. I think they first implemented the large one, which I surmise from the following sentence, because it's called structure battery charger, and the small one, the orange one that you start with, is called structure battery charger small, I think. Something like small. Tiny? No, small. Short. Thin. Let's see the batteries. Define class but hash structure battery, and also a register for that, alias. Battery ratio. Now we have to start taking care regarding the lines, because at some point the lines will just fall off the cliff and never return. That sucks. Load batch into this register that we just replaced with a name instead, but we can still use the name, the register, of course. From class battery, the information that we want is the ratio, not the charge, because the charge will be in watts instead of joules. Hilarious. Also, it will be per tick and not be per a second. The tick, the simulation tick is half a second. I don't know if they will ever change that. I don't know. But anyway, the game is working nicely. So batch mode average. I want the average charge. If I have all these batteries and one of them is at 0 and one of them is at full, then I want the information 0.5, which is the truth regarding my station's situation. So, and I want to do that not here, but here. Okay. I want to have one register that toggles on and off all the time. Let's have that here. Alias but light blink R10, which I will initialize. Now we will use that new statement again that I used for the first time today, and then we will see another use of that. We will initialize that register with the value 0. Not that we need to, but I like to have everything absolute and no shenanigans going on. When I put the chip in, when I turn the electricity on, when I start the game, when I load the game, that which I told the computer to happen, with that which I described for reality, it shall do, shall happen. Since we have these two here, I will also do the blinking right here. So we write into... how did that work? I don't remember. I have to scroll down actually, I don't remember. Right. I just have to have the the condition. So, right, if less than or equal this 0, no, first write into this. If this is less than or equal to 0. Okay, what happens? In this, at the start, we have the value 0 in here. And here we say less than or equal to 0. So that 0 will be compared to 0. Is 0 less than or equal to 0? Yes, it is. Therefore, the consequence will be a 1. And we write that 1 into this thing. And then the rest of the code is executed. We jump back to start. We do yield, which is 1 game tick, half a second. And then we arrive here again. This time this value is 1. So we check, is this value less than or equal to 0? No, it's 1. Therefore, the consequence will be a 0. So a 0 will be written. So what we now have is this thing turns from 0 to 1, from 1 to 0, blink, blink, blink. That was easy. Once you know that. Save, edit, pause. Now let's go down here. We already have the blinking. Now we want to know whether to apply the blinking. So, basically what I want to do with station lights is whether I'm at home or actually when I'm not at home they don't need to blink. Yeah, okay. When I am at not at home, then the lights shall be off. But when I am at home, then I want to write into them the value of R1. R1 is the combination of is just if there is no daylight coming into the daylight sensor, then that shall be a 1. So when I'm at home and there is no daylight coming in, then this shall be a 1. That is what the register R1 does. But we can just override that. We can go here and check the battery state. BLT. Actually BG greater than or equal, but ratio let's say 0.12. I will explain that soon. Move into register R1 the value of battery blink, or what's its name? There we go. So if I export this, nothing will happen. Because, okay, let's explain first what the code does. We already know that we will have this 1010 thing going on here. I mean, we can assume that. So here I'm saying if the battery is here, battery ratio, if that is greater than or equal to 0.1, then I want to jump 2 lines past this. 1 line, then I would be here, which is what would be executed also if this would not evaluate true. So a value of 1 here never makes sense, and a value of 0 is very interesting. Actually, does that work? Yeah, but then there's no yield. That's not a good thing to have. Whatever. Anyway, if the battery ratio is greater than or equal to 0.1, then it will jump to here. But if that is not the case, then we'll move into register R1, which is, you know, that thing, the blink thing instead. So if I now say we want the batteries to be at least at 90%, then... Okay, that didn't work. Why not? To find out, I will write to the housing first the battery blink thing. SDB setting export and check. Maybe that's already the problem. I am seeing a 0 here instead of a constant change of 0 and 1. Move. Wait, what? SDB setting. There is no jump here, right? Let's just write 44 and see if that would work. Export. Yes, 44. So my blinking logic isn't working. I'm using that for the first time, so maybe that's the reason. Whoops. But blink. Psst. Did I use the same register value? 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. No, I didn't. Up here we move a 0 in there, but this code up here will only be executed when the chip starts, when I turn on the electricity, when I plug it in. But this will be executed all the time, and I'm saying write into this register if but blink is less than or equal to 0. If that is the case, then it will become 1. I don't understand. This is the next weather events thing. Countdown. Why is that not working? Let's see what the documentation says. Register will be set to 1 if A is less than B. My god. Less than or equal, not less than. It's never less than 0. So when our batteries are low, this will happen. Even when there is sunlight, or independent of sunlight, but not when we are not in the base, because then we're not going to see it, so there would be battery wasted upon telling us that the battery is empty, and that would make sense when we don't see it. Let's see if that works. That works. Let's flip that. Okay, but what is a reasonable ratio for our batteries? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 10. And we can just say 0.1 should currently represent one of these slots. If it is less than 2, let's say 20%. Because then we should really take measures. So a little typo fucked that up. Okay, now we have a battery low warning. Things are getting better. But how about the smelting, right? To actually make things better. Am I equipped? Oh, look at that. The nitrogen filter is actually being nibbled. Yeah, okay. Let's do furnacing then. So when 100,000 things can go wrong. Any lamp blinking in there? No. Let's first get that thing going. And what we want to put in there afterwards is iron and nickel. Lots of it. So, not stand directly in front of it, but to the side, and the hands shall touch the lower corner. That should work. It didn't. That did. So it's still warm enough to melt that ice, else it wouldn't reopen that chute to get more stuff, whatever. But it is not yet ignited. Now it is. And this needle doesn't show the heat, it shows the pressure. I don't know if this thing has a heat. Oh, look at that, the room's getting too hot. Or not. Oh, I have to, sorry, I have to pause my nice but annoying reminder program thing that I made. Because my day schedule is actually a different one, but of course I will keep doing this now. What I forgot to mention about that program is that this pane in which you can place these notes, you can pan with the right mouse button and you can zoom with the mouse wheel, and you basically have an infinite pane there where you can place these things. So that's something I haven't yet seen, you know. You can put up stickies on your monitor, yeah, but you can put up infinitely many stickies here. You can place them in a 2D space freely, arrange them and so forth. That makes them cool. Makes it quite cool. So let's turn that off. This. I could also turn off the entire program, right? That's a thought that emerges, no? But first of all, I don't want to lose some important announcements. And also, I set my Windows scheduler to start that program once an hour. I learned that as a painful necessary lesson when I played Watch Dogs 2 or 3? Watch Dogs Legion. This is 3, I think, huh? I'm not sure. Because for some reason that game caused, despite me having 32 gigabytes of RAM, killed my program every time. What the fuck, man? So, let's first make Invar. 1.2, 1.5, 18. First we need to build some pressure here. This thing you can see from far away. And I think fire too. Or rocket engines, which you can actually put up. So later we might be able to make a beacon that we can see from far away. I don't know if that actually works during a storm. That would be nice if that would be strong enough to shine through a storm. I don't think they implemented that, but you know. So 40 megapascals, insufficient for the purposes. But before I keep going, the stuff that I'm going to put in there will have its own degassing going on, which causes pressure to increase. So let's put that stuff in first, the right stuff. And next time I drag that from here to there, I will point my face away, hopefully, because if I have this mouse glitch, then what happens is I would actually drop that into the furnace. Maybe that's what happened last time. So, 18 to 20, 1.2 to 1.5. 18 to 20, 1.2, 1.5. Almost 18, 1.2, 1.5. It's too hot. And the pressure isn't high enough. So let's do something about the pressure. Is that open up there? No. Is that open now? That would have been relevant. Relevant. Pressure is high. It's not cold enough. What was that? 18 to 20. So the pressure is already increasing too much, but as it now cools down to where we need it, to 1.5, that will decrease, because, you know, heat makes the gas expand. How do we get it colder in here? For example? Room temperature 44 degrees, let's let that drop into the abyss. This should help cool down the furnace. I could also open this valve, but this would primarily deal with pressure. Pressure, though, is near where we need it. Temperature is a bit too high still. We have 18 to 20 megapascals allowed, and we are in that range almost. But the temperature is too high. I might actually have to put some more stuff in there. Stuff that causes pressure but not heat, so not an even gas fuel mix, but maybe just some oxide. And I need to drink some soon. Not in here, obviously. I mean, the logic is, if the room is enclosed and the room gets hot because the furnace is going, then this implies that heat is getting lost. If the room stays enclosed, then heat will not get lost so much because the temperature differential will be lower. So cooling the room down like I'm doing should accelerate the descent of the temperature. I realize that we're very close to where we need to be. Very close. It might actually work out. Let's look at the top of the screen. Yeah. Okay, we just made that, and it was super, super close. I mean, Okay, now we want to make... Now we want to save. Now we want to make Constantan. Worked right at the start. Nice, nice, nice. If you know how to steer your car carefully, then you get there. And you need to know the connections. Like if the temperature drops, then the pressure will also drop. And what to do to increase the pressure without increasing the temperature. Put something in there that's not fuel, and that is not part of the smelt mix, like a gas. And don't put the ore stuff in too late, because it also degasses, and therefore your estimate might be wrong. Constantan. So, any temperature you could say, and 20 megapascals plus. So, to get that going, all we have to do is some more volatiles. And we can actually close this now. And some more oxide. And we can put this stuff in there. Is that lever closed? Yes, it is. Because I don't want this to become ingots, which would be okay. And like I already said, if you toss something out that's a brown lump of bullshit, then just toss it in again if you can get the mixture right. Oh, what's that? And that is Invar. We're done. Do we have something else we could smelt right now? Not on me, but maybe we could make some steel while we're at it. Let's check the gases in here. Only CO2, -8 is fine. The room in here is too hot as it is. So let's make some steel, but a bit more this time. Okay. How much steel do we want to make? All that we can make, basically. But I have to have a number that's divisible by 3. For example, 150. 100, not so much. 99, yes. So that's 99, that's 33. Hypothetically, I've never did this mix, but the math checks out. Let's check that again, in case I, you know... Let's not run into that furnace situation, centrifuge situation again. So, 3 parts iron, 1 part carbon. Meaning, if I have 3 parts iron, 33, 33, 33, that makes 99. And then 1 part carbon, which is 33. So I need 33 carbon now. Wait. Right. 50 and 49 is 99. Now I need 33 carbon. Now we use the split half function, and yeah, actually I could have kept going. Now we have the material to make a nice batch of steel. 33 and 50 is 199. So what else could we smelt while we're in there? Some copper, because it's fast. One of these, which we'll need later as raw ore, but currently, why not? This will always stay raw. Okay. Temperature. Sufficient.
Waste tank caution.
Steel. Ah, yeah, we can leave that open for the rest. It's a cool furnace room that we have here. What's that? Is that... Somehow, I think the ingot got stuck there. Weird. And this automatic door, I mean, it's a very cool setup that we have here. What are the gases inside? Do we have something to worry about right now? No, we don't. 51 degrees in here. What's the situation in the station? Let's cool that down a little. And open. Temperature here, 21. Open helmet, and fine, we managed. Everything worked out great. Man, this is cool. This is a cool setup. Pile of goodies. So before we can enjoy all that stuff, I think we first have to deal with that water situation. Well, how do we do that then? Okay, the waste tank is almost full. That is because we just were in a room that is very hot, so that was used for AC purposes. CO2 717. 758 or something. The plants, how are they doing? To fern. Alright. So water. We have a problem with our water supply. We have enough water, but we can't get it into the bottles. I mean, this is currently a multi-purpose room. I don't know exactly how to deal with this yet, but well, that's the thing. If I want to get the water from these pipes to somewhere else, either I lay tons of pipes, or I just use the pipes that we already I have here, you know, nature's natural day camo, or whatever they are, and we transport it over here, and then I gather it in here. That sounds like a nice idea. So let's take the water bottle filler, which is no longer of use, over here. And put it up over there. I'm really looking forward to finding out if that works. If you can just take the water right from the air. And then next, of course, once I have some water again, I will try that in this room. Toss it down, see what happens. That would be cool.
Power low.
Okay, we need power for that, as announced. Oh, a problem. Nope. Active liquid outlet. Check the atmosphere. Oh, there's... Okay. Oh, right. Hey, wait, there's no longer any pollution in there. I don't need to do what I'm doing right now. But I want to. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's over there now, and I need some pipes. Nothing is in there. These are dry. Instead, the air has all that stuff. There's no pollutant in there. I don't get that, man. Where's did the pollutant go? Regardless, I will flip this thing on, just in case, for the time being, and let's remove those pipes. And that thingy. Are they really empty? It's really empty. Yep. Uh-huh. now for the big moment. I think many stationeers can learn something here, because this doesn't strike me to be something anyone is doing rather often. Okay, turn the thing on. It is now complaining that there is no water to fill into the bottles. This bottle is empty, that bottle is at 66, so if something would happen here, we will notice it. That works! We can just take the water straight from the air into those bottles. That's glorious! That is so glorious that I want to go mining right away to get some, you know... Actually, will I get all the water in here? Yes, it's getting one more. This will slowly exchange and slowly go over there. Would be nice if we had some kind of draft going on, but later we won't need that because all that stuff I will just do over here and just close the door meanwhile. Yeah, but now let's look at this. We have here 600 degrees. This will cool down further and further and eventually will then bleed out into that room, which is not a problem. It will not freeze because the room is not at freezing temperature. I mean, the coldest temperature it would have is like 20 degrees or 10 or whatever. I'm not sure. Do these windows actually bleed temperature? I don't think so. I would have learned that by now, right? So, I want to see what happens. How strong does this heat the room? Let's first see if everything is closed here. The stay is off. Ah, now there's water in there. Shit, I have to leave that open. I didn't think of that. What's in there? Oh, I don't have an oxygen canister ready for in case I need it. Okay, let's... this one still has some water in it. And the solution is just to open it.
Hunger caution.
Because then it is in the same overall world as this thing, and so the water will all end up in there. Hypothetically. Yeah, 800 bites my ass. Now it's almost 5,000. Plants? Not yet. What did I want to do? Mining some ice would be nice. Not just because that rhymes. Yeah, Invar, I got these new things. Let's make use of them. For example, and since we have programmed so much already in this video, let's program some more. Cool the base down if it gets too hot. And yeah, right, that's the thing I want to try here. We can do the we can do it in the same breath. That's perfect. Let's do that then. Let's make Invar is over here. Toss it in here and then make the digital valve. It needs steel. Hilarious. I also have steel. Getting better. I love this game to bits. I do. If you don't, you're not playing it. Period. And it's so cheap, goddammit. I mean, 30 euros or whatever that is. Okay, what do I have here? I have a digital valve, and it's not a kit. So what does it do? You can see the arrow shows it's just a bidirectional. It's just basically a pipe, except it would also probably separate pipe networks. I think that's how that works. And I can use that then to connect the indoor atmosphere to the outdoor atmosphere. And like I already explained in another video, that will also, you know, exchange actual air. So if I have high pressure in here, that will go outside, but very, very, very slowly so through one of these cowls. What also happens though is that temperature is being exchanged, and that happens rather quickly. And so that will be our cooling solution for this station. The wider the angle, the stronger the depth perception, geometry-wise. So is this correct? It is. So what does this thing then do? On this side we need a cowl, and on that side instead we need a cowl. Do we have one? No, we don't. Yes, we do. No, we don't. We need two new ones. Video duration so far 2.5 hours. That's still okay-ish. This one was nice, wasn't it? I mean, for the programmers at least. The others will be standing there. Oh, you can do that? Oh, God, can't program. Whatever will I do? Back to Minecraft. And now I'm an asshole. So, let's put that here. Can I put that there from here? Probably not. Damn. Now, one thing everybody wants to know. Would we find our way? Oh. Not? Oh, okay, I don't know what that was. It was a game bug. Must be a game bug. Tracking beacon? And myself? And whatever this is? I don't know what the fuck this is supposed to be. I mean, why are there so many slots that just don't do anything? Tracker, 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 tracker. I don't get it. Anyway. Yes, it works. Yeah, okay, let's solve this. Next storm, I want to be able to enter my station without looking like an idiot. Or like a genius, depending on thruster settings. And so let's look for that. We don't have that. I need to make it then. Shall we make 2, just to be safe? Frame. No, not steel frames. I don't want to make iron frames. I know that steel frames are much more economic, but I'm kind of like, I did it like this whole time. If I set up a new area, blah blah blah, whatever, let's see. I'm not ready yet for steel. I don't have that much steel yet. Iron sheets. Oh, okay, I need 2 iron sheets. I have 1. Do we have some iron left? I think so. 1. That fits. And do it. So next storm, we can just walk home. Yeah, the light just turned on not because of the door, but because the sun's down. Else it would have turned on earlier. The moment that door closes, not just when the airlock has completely cycled. I could basically use also the airlock temperature. I mean, this sensor measures everything. Currently it's used for pressure, but I could also just use it for temperature and just say, if that temperature is below minus 20 degrees or whatever, then we consider an outdoor situation, you know, instead of the door. Not that meaningful right now. So, the valve, yes. That has been set up properly. Let's first see what happens if we turn that on. Currently 25.5. And you see the temperature is basically dropping rapidly, of course only in this slot. I mean, the rest of the station will have to keep up. But, you know, that is a measure that can be taken. Now, about the pressure. The pressure is 93.2 kilopascals, and out there I believe it's like 60 or so. Let's measure that. No, it's not. The pressure is not... yeah, it's also decreasing. So that is... I mean, this measure is not ideal. But it is... it gets us on the way, you know? I could also, I don't know, put up some active vents which pump some outside atmosphere into the station, I mean through a pipe with radiators, which then cools the station. That is more high-tech, but I mean, look at this shit. We are coping. We are working on every front and we're succeeding on every front. But except for the front of space and cleanliness. But that is a front that is very abstract, very all-containing. So no wonder we haven't yet succeeded there. Let's program that thing then, by giving it a name first. What name shall it have?
Critical.
Let's look at this sensor. Room 1 gas sensor, room 1 cooling valve. Room 1 cooling valve. And then check out what this digit valve is. Structure digital valve, I would assume. Item. Oh! Item, pipe, digital valve. Okay, that wouldn't have worked. Item, pipe, digital valve. Enough space? It's getting close. Item, pipe, digital valve. Damn, I don't remember. Item pipe digital valve? Yes, pipe. Define class. Item pipe digital valve, so that this is out of my head. Class define inst valve R1 dash. So if the temperature is too high, what do we deem too high? 30? I mean, that's kind of a radical measure to let out the air of the room, right? I would say then that we indeed just use the same temperature, which means that we can use the same logic that is already established. So we don't just turn the red light on, but we also just open the valve. Room too hot. Actually, do we already have some throwaway register going on here? Nope. Okay, let's do that then. Move into register R0, 0. And down here, we affect the digital valve with that. Write batch named. On 1. So, that's what happens then. Not on 1, R0. And we want to write into register R0 only in this too hot situation, the value, otherwise we just insist on this one. I could also have turned this thing off here and on there, but that is impure. I mean, affecting a device like that, that's a different story than overwriting a register twice. And that should be the cooling solution. How many lines did we put in here? 2 to address the device itself. A third to actually address the device. And then 2 more, as in 5 lines overall, to decide when it shall be on or off. Export. Off. So will that work? Let's see. 25.5 degrees. 400 degrees coming in here. .6. Okay, this is not happening as quickly as I'd like to. How can we produce some heat in here? I have an idea. And that's actually the original purpose of the furnace room. The original purpose of the furnace room was to heat up the base. So let's do that then. 28. A little more, please. I think I heard it click. Okay, let's leave that open, see what happens. Room temperature 31 degrees, and that thing is not on. I can operate it manually. Shit. Okay, that didn't work. Why not? Does this have a logic connection? Provides power, provides data connection. No, it says that it also provides a data connection, and I don't know what exactly my mistake is here. I mean, I can turn it off, I can turn it on, but in the source code, I explicitly said it shall be affected all the time, and then I decide which value it shall have. So, why is that so? Item pipe digital valve. Huh. That is correct. Class D valve, ins D valve, room 1. Room 1, cooling valve. Is that the text that I'm indeed using there? Copy and scroll down. Where do I write that value? Room done. So this is executed unconditionally, which we also saw, for example, when the battery was executed. I mean, okay, the only way that anything here is not executed is a jump statement. But there is no jump marker down here. Okay, maybe I could jump here basically from over there, but that wouldn't have happened. And then we have jump start. So SBN, class D valve, ins D valve R1, on R0. Why is it not constantly affecting that thing? What's my mistake? Is it once again some wiring? But that can't be. I only have one cable network and that thing has power. We have seen it. And it also has data. It's only one connector. Huh. Let's maybe then check out the digital valve itself. Maybe it's actually not a different thing. On. Lock ratio. No, it has to be the on value. Well, then let's use a different approach. Instead of doing this, at the end of the code, SDB88 or whatever, and LBN into register R0 from here, whether it is on sum. First I want to see, will I see that, wait, setting, will I see 88 setting, will I see 88 on the thing here? Yes, so that concept works. Now let's see if we get to see R0. Export. Now we see 0, and now we see still 0. Okay. Why? Is that thing really on? Yes. Room 1 cooling valve. Room 1 cooling valve. This is very confusing. Must be a stupid mistake, then let's look for those instead. Am I not doing that constantly? Define, hash. Item, pipe, digital valve, room 1, cooling valve. Load batch named, class D valve, ins D valve, on sum. No, I cannot figure out what my mistake is. I can't. I don't see it. Possibly something obvious, but it's not obvious to me. I did everything. The thing is cabled up.
Hydration critical.
Or do I have multiple electricity networks here after all? I don't think so. No, I don't. Is this thing on? Yeah, of course. And I'm pretty sure I did such a thing before. You know what? This is one of those moments when I actually pause the video to find out. See you in a few moments. Yeah, the problem is actually an obvious one. It was indeed a stupid one, because I thought, item pipe to the valve, I've never had that. That should have been the clue, because this is the kit, okay? And the build structure is, of course, structure digital valve, like I would have done if I wouldn't have looked that up instead. And yeah, that can of course not work. Let's see if that works now. Edit, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Takes a damn long time if you use a different source code in this editor until it has been completely loaded. So, bep. Let's remove any debug code we might still have here. I don't have any debug code here. That is debug code. And that too. Right. Export. Beep. So, does this thing turn off now? It does. So the computer's affecting it. So let's see to that we get a little bit more than 29 degrees Celsius in here, and shazam, here we go. It's turning on, and it's too hot. And does that help? Let's look at our own temperature measure thingy. 31 degrees. Okay, 31 degrees. And how about the pressure and the air mixture? See, that thing transports heat much more efficiently than the gas/pressure. So that's actually a viable way to cool down your base in a pickle, in a pinch, you know. Not the most efficient way. Yeah. This is more efficient. So, let's once again deal with that needy flesh of mine. I need to drink something, I would assume. No, I need to eat. But drinking is also nice. Change the music. Bit loud. Oh, whatever. So, do we have some water in the air still? No, we do not. Yes, we do, actually. I think that came from the furnace room. For whatever reason, there's some water in the air there. And now we need to eat once more. Let's see if the plants are actually giving us stuff. Some are, some not, so let's not do that now. Ah, damn. That's stupid, man.
Hunger caution.
And now for the modded manufactories. Constantan. That music isn't exactly better. I need steel. And Electrum and Constantan. Damn it. There are more better stations there, but the probability to run into copyright shenanigans is higher there, so I don't want to go there. Solder. In case you didn't know, YouTube will actually check your video when you upload it for any copyrighted material. and then they will list that automatically in your description. And or there might be a strike or no strike, not as long as it's not public. Why should there be a copyright strike? But I'm saying they do that, and then you even have the option to mute that part of the video, and I think it will only mute the music. That's nice, isn't it? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's the way that would be understood. Okay, we need pressure on that thing next time we mine, which is probably not far away, and because I want to melt some water over yonder, and some oxygen will also be nice to have as a reserve. Right, is there still some water in this air? Not now. Is there still some water in this? Oh! Well, okay, I guess the bottle like rolled over or whatever. There's only O2 in there. Interesting. Is that the wrong bottle I'm looking at? Yeah, that's why you spray paint these. But guess what? If I want to make a bottle of oxygen, then one of the things I need is not pollution. And then I spray paint them and I get pollution in the air at least. So I'm kinda hesitant. Also, I'm recycling bottles. Sometimes it's this one, sometimes it's that one. Dirty, I know. There's pollutant in there? I don't want to breathe that. But then again, that's alright. That's only for that. There's no pollution in there, but some water? Hilarious. Right, the room temperature is probably increasing because that is still at 300 degrees and we don't need that in our station actually. We can use it though for this stuff. And I will actually try a trick now. This should now pipe everything through unconditionally. Now we take our not so pure bottle here, which we will use for the welder. This will of course pollute this pipe too, but that's not my concern right now. And turn that on. Canisters filling with all kinds of crap, but that's okay for mining out there. So let's take this mod and take the screwdriver. What just happened? And fuck me, and screw it on. Afterwards, the electronics printer is equipped to print the other mods. So let's print those then. First thing, the autolathe printer mod. So how far are we here? Not enough. Damage due to the presence of liquid. Only over here. Yeah, okay, we remember that, yeah. That was some time ago. And the trick that I want to use is that once that bottle has been filled, I need some clean system here, right? Then I will make sure that this guy keeps pumping stuff over. What the fuck? Dude, what is happening? Am I doing it again? Did you see that? That was open. But I guess this guy sucked this thing empty before it could go that way. My god, I was lucky. Maybe the programming is like the pumps have priority over the natural streaming or something. The entire air would have been polluted again. By the way, is this thing still on? No, it's turned off. Let's prepare it for further such activities. Come on. Yeah, and then I want to just unbuild this pipe, which will remove whatever is in this pipe. Maybe it will unleash it in the room. I mean, it won't, we know that, but later it maybe. But at least then that is clean. I put the new pipe up and then we can use that for oxygen production again. Still too hot in here. Want to take off all my clothes. Yeah, I could use that same door open logic kind of thing for this room too, for the temperature of 30 degrees, you know? That's okay. However, we don't have just oxygen in here, but also very important CO2. And the planet doesn't have any of that. So, next one is the pipe bender. We are moving up in the world. Yeah, this. Well, this is actually a nice thing to have, this automatic filling, but it's a bit... Oh, wait. Idiot. But it's rather slow. Should it by now keep pumping? What's happening? There's pressure in there, 9 megapascals. Oh. I'm stupid once more. I said the gas that I want shall be nothing, so everything goes to waste. And so this now has a pressure of... Yeah, it's a bit high, the pressure is alright. Let's actually turn that off for a second, so it can mumble and think. Yeah, 60 megapascals, that would have burst, and then we have, oh my god, 347 moles. That would have killed my lungs rather instantly. Okay. How can we deal with that reasonably? What gas would I like to use? We can just actually use pollutant for our endeavors out there. You know, the mining drill, why shouldn't it just have pollutant? We need some iron. So how much pollutant do we have here? Most of it, 77%, is pollutant. So that's a reasonable thing to do then. Yeah, what a relief, huh? Okay. How fast is this filling? Oh! Actually rather quick. And then the tool manufactory. I need more steel, but I think I have steel somewhere else. Let me steal that from them. Steel, yeah, okay, that would suck, right? To have to do another batch before we can do that glorious thing that I'm about to do. Tool printer mod. Where was I? So that bottle is probably filled now and probably hot too. What? Dude, why is there so much stuff in there? Excuse me. What? What? 9,500. Now it's going to 9,800? Why is it so much? I think we have a problem here. I mean, that's not the solution here, but
Temperature critical.
That's still a helmet on. God damn it! So it's kind of at the limit, but
Oxygen low.
it can now, yeah.
Oxygen critical.
It can now cool down, which will, of course, cause the gas to contract. So we will have less pressure in there effectively, and then we can use it for mining. Why was it... I don't understand. No. Damn it. too cold in here. Nice. I would have overlooked that. Now I don't. What was happening? So I have this pressure regulator here, which makes sure that what we get over here will only be at the max, the value is set here. So when it reached 9,500, it shouldn't have increased, but it did increase further, and I have no explanation for that whatsoever. I mean, maybe what happened is that the temperature was traveling still, but the gas was not. And so it kept expanding, but this would mean that in here we have a temperature of ridiculous, but we do not. So, I don't... Oh, wait. 248? 153? Yeah, that could have been the reason. Maybe the temperature was traveling. We can actually try that. What's the pressure in here? It's higher than set. But the pressure is not increasing. Why then did the pressure of the bottle increase? I do not understand. Huh. Anyway. That is now empty. And this is... okay, I kind of lost track of all the things that I clicked. Anyway, now we could go mining. And we should, once the sun is back up. How long will that take? We cannot see because we don't have a clock yet. Maybe we should put a clock up. Should we have a clock? No storm is incoming. How will the clock express? How can we show that? Well, first of all, we would have to know, is the degrees of the clock, is it increasing or decreasing? Then we have the little problem of acceleration, because it's like a sinus curve, you know, sinus curve. Sinus, I believe. Sinus curve. When it reaches the top or when it reaches the bottom, then it doesn't move much vertically. And that's what we have here with the sun, so making a clock out of that is not so easy. What we could do, though, is we could make a clock that counts by itself and is only adjusted by the sun reaching those apexes, you know, these... So, air tank. Now, the idea was to get some air.
Filter low.
When I'm swapping this filter, it gives me that message. So, is there anything pollutant in this pipe network? No, there is not. So, we can risk this. Except it might cool down the room further. And there's some really poisonous shit in there. And in here we have harmless, also poisonous shit. So let's first see if we can get rid of that stuff. Not in the most intelligent fashion, but you know. 23 megapascals. Okay, that wouldn't quite work. How do we get that out of the base? Should it indeed lay another pipe? That seems a bit ridiculous. Of course I could... there's no room between these two, you know. If I would do this now, they would connect directly. I would like to put a valve between those, which only allows one-way movement. But that's also not the solution. I would need a valve that I can actually turn on and off. But I can do that. I can, like, change this pipe here. Interesting. Should I do that, or should I do a different approach? Or will I just cheese it this time? I mean, several solutions were offered. All of them would work, I think. So let's use the cheesy one to see if that one would also work. Because that requires... how did they say in Agents of Steel... Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Experimentation. Aha. Pressure has decreased. Just want to see if that works. Like to fill with stuff.
Hydration critical.
It appears that our hydration is critical. We should get some water. By mining? after this. What's the time? We cannot see. Oh, the sun angle, right, of course. Solar angle, 144, 143 incoming, I believe. Because the night has been long so far. Weird. Shouldn't the solar angle change a little bit more quickly when it is at 144? Guess what? I have to shut up some program. The same, yes, the same. Because it's exactly 3 in the afternoon. So a full hour was achieved. And so, yeah. Empty. Ready for oxygen then. So we want to put everything not in the room, but in there. From whatever source we have, nothing in that pipe. We can use the room itself, which will then also increase the CO2 ratio. And every time we use some emergency cooling, we're doing the opposite. So that sounds like a good balancing measure. So let's turn this thing on. And the waste gas goes, like I already said, into the room. There's an Omni setup. It does all these things at once, which means that it's shitty to use. What? Listen. And pump. Okay, that's working. Now we need a bottle. That one comes to mind. And I still have my helmet closed. Damn it. There's some nitrogen in there? How did that happen? I'm pretty sure I didn't make a mistake here. But it's so little that maybe what actually happened is...
Low pressure. Oxygen low.
Okay.
Low pressure. Oxygen low. Low pressure.
Come on, I want to click this. It's rather urgent, actually. There's liquid in the pipe? H2O. Was there still water in the air? Why wasn't I told? That doesn't sound good. That's the pipe dying, man. Oh, there's overpressure here. Okay, that. Okay, the problem was that I believe this thing doesn't have overpressure protection. This thing has overpressure protection for the pipes. So the pipe's pressure in here, in this pipe, was never increasing over 50 megapascals by this vent. Then this thing pumped, and this pump is possibly very strong. I don't know how strong. It suffers pressure differential, so more pressure differential actually helps pumping. But I think it can still pump when there's high pressure in here, and so it damaged that. Now we can repair those by using stupidly steel sheets. I think that should be iron sheets. I wonder if that's an oversight on part of the developers, because we can also make insulated pipes which take silicon and steel, but these only take iron. So why do we need steel sheets to repair the silicon ones? I think that was steel, and iron and also steel sheets for these. I need 2 steel sheets and the welding torch.
Hunger, caution.
I would actually do that now. If I had steel, that is. Yeah, about the wonderful thing I wanted to do. Tool belt Mark II, which we can now create. If we have Constantan, which we have, I think. Yep, 26 grams still. 26 dry grams. Where is it? Constantan. Here we go. Map. And we wanted some steel sheets, for which we need steel. Okay. Those are iron sheets. Welding a pipe while it is currently has gas, that seems iffy, but was that it? Oh, it's repaired. And now, of course, we have the air polluted. So that's bad for water production, but the door is closed, so that shouldn't be fatal. Except some of that will get over there when I get over there. Okay, what do we need to do next? First, we need to... Okay, this is one of the big moments in the game. Ah, steel? Seriously? So one of the main goals would also eventually be to automate that stuff, you know, beating those things, but we're definitely not there yet. That was wrong. This is the mining belt. I need the tool belt. Dee-doop-dee-doo. Dee-doop-dee-doo. So now we can carry around the cables and that thing, and we have 2 extra slots. Now tell me that's not worth it. So that is basically garbage. I mean, an extra mining belt is good to have, but an extra tool belt? I don't think I ever need that. Let's put that here in the garbage section. And now the mining belt. There it is. It's trampled all over that thing. So here we can see we have an entire additional row. An extra mining belt to have, even on hand, even in my like pockets, that's a good thing. So we will do that. Right, and the tool belt shall be open. This is a bit wasteful. Let's open the mining belt instead. What kind of order logic is this? Huh. I am not a fan of this, but okay. So, heavy breathing. Water. In that room that I don't want to open, but have to. See, that thing is red now. Why? Because poisonous fumes are actually a motherfucker. Ah, crap. Okay, I need to change the approach here. That thing needs to be dismantled every time we don't actually want to intake something, because now, guess what? We have to... Oh, I thought that was over, but at least we can do that only in this room exclusively, which should accelerate it. At the same time, we then have to wait for it to finish. Fuck. Anyway, so now here we have a canister of almost pure oxygen. A little bit water in the lungs, who gives a fuck. And here we have a tank.
Air tank critical.
That is fine enough. And this third one... Actually, wait. I could use that for the... No, the mining drill bottle is in there. I have too many bottles lying around. Damn it. I would actually leave through that door here. Should I? That undoes the entire thing we did at the beginning of the video, you know, with the automation here. Sigh.
Temperature low. Temperature critical. Temperature low.
Aha! I didn't think of that. But, I mean, the bottle was at 400 or whatever degrees. And yeah, of course, eventually it would freeze. I didn't even think of that, man. I made so many mistakes. I mean, whatever. So, where's my mining drill? I mean, the proper one. There it is. Let's put that thing in there. Swap that against my own. Toss that here. The sun is coming, right, for mining. Anything else that we need to take care? Yeah, plants maybe. That, yeah, oh, but that have to wait. That will have to wait. That is useless because there will be more pollutant. So, do I have enough air? Do I have enough filters? Enough energy? How about this thing? Oh. That is there, and I wanted... What was placed in here? I don't remember. Ah, that thing, sure. Is that really the best we can currently have at this music? Okay, in hopes that this will work, let's go mining. And primarily for water, actually. We can see the beacon from here. You can see it is on. And eats 300 watts, which is fucking ton. Instead, we could have used wireless batteries, or just batteries in the first place, and the simple such device, which there is some water, which eats less electricity, to say the least. And now, Ommnommnommnomming. Sigh. No idea what the pressure is. Oh, yo, now I know why the pressure was increasing. Yes, that has an actual physical reason behind it. And the reason is as follows. If you have a liquid in a pipe, then the liquid will excrete some gas. Some part of it will become gaseous. And maybe that's really what's happening there. You know, there's liquid in there, and maybe the what's the word? Well, the pressure that is being read does not pertain to a liquid at all. We have a liquid amount in a pipe, liquid amount, and we have a pressure amount which pertains to gases. So the pressure regulator was pumping in enough until the pressure was reached, but it had also pumped in some liquid, and that liquid, I don't know, for whatever reasons that were there, you know, I don't know, was pollutant, I don't know, then became gaseous, and that increased the pressure. The pressure regulator was like, that wasn't me, I have no idea what's happening. So that was the reason. Yep, liquid is really dangerous. Yes, and I realized that the pressure that I initially brought with this bottle is not the 9 megapascals, 9.5 that I wanted. And so, yeah, I expected the drill to be faster, and I was wondering why it was so empty like it is right now, so quickly. That's because it was so empty the whole time. Stupid me, once again. If I had an extra oxygen bottle on me, I could just stuff that in there, because oxygen is cheap on this planet. Actually, let's think about that. We have a station, and that is warm. Where did all that warmth come from? I mean, yeah, we have some devices there which output like 1 degree Celsius per minute or so collectively, or less, I don't know. But where did all that come from? I think all of that came ultimately from furnacing. Or did we throw down some sticks in the beginning? No, it was, I think it was the furnace. I don't remember actually. Oh, the sun is gone already, bub. Ah, damn. Not lucky today regarding music. I guess the station is over there, but I don't give a fuck. It is, I guessed correctly, it's over there. How full are the batteries? That's kind of information relevant to us, and later we can even transmit that to us when we are mining, once we have the respective tools. How full are the batteries? Still fine, even though 300 watts are being milked from them constantly. Stupid that this drill doesn't make a sound when it's on. At least you can see the animation. On, off, on, off. Once we have completely mastered the hunger and thirst thing, at least that's what I do in single player games, where I always also play, I mean, it's a single player, I mean without video recording, yeah, okay, when I play alone. Play also Stationeers difficulty, but then when I have established myself and everything is fine and the eating and drinking is no longer something to overcome, but has become plain simply just a chore that stops me from engineering and building stuff, then I mod my game, you know, I change the difficulty to one that I've modded in, which is easy. I can show that at some point, I guess. And yeah, and then I would have the same difficulty as I had, except the eating and drinking would be much less necessary, and that's fine then, right? I mean, the difficulty has been overcome. When it just becomes tedium, why not? And if this game were developed further, then there would probably also some kind of means to solve that in other ways, because there are two glaring flaws on that front in this game so far. One is what I just said, you know, the food and drink, because, you know, they should be able to overcome that somehow. And the other is your waste tank, which can maximally become 4 kilopascals, nothing more. I think, like I already said in another video, that you can obtain something by trading from a really rare trader, basically, or rather hard to obtain trader for beginners. You have to really build lots of stuff. Where you can have a canister that can't just take higher pressure, like the smart canister that we have not yet produced during this playthrough can, because that wouldn't help, because it can take more pressure, doesn't help us in regards to the maximum pressure of 4 megapascals, but a canister that can actually take, that has a greater volume, so it's not a matter of more pressure that it can take more content, but a matter of actually being bigger, and that would then help with this. I don't know if that's actually in there. There's something else like that that can supposedly also be obtained by trading, and that is a gas filter that never has to be replenished. That is available in the creative mode, where you can also make an RTG, which is a radioisotopic generator, which just generates electricity forever. Just plop it in and run your stuff. But I'm not sure if the traders actually have these filters. Or if an RTG can be obtained, no clue. No clue. Radioisotopic generators, in case 3,500 or 1,000 people actually don't know, and that's all, right? I mean, everybody knows these things, actually exist for real.
Power low.
Whatever. They exist for real, and they're being used by the space agencies. NASA, for example. NASA? I don't know. To power their probes when when they're far out there, no sunlight or not enough sunlight to drive that, or maybe there's a shadow, an unforeseen one, or the thing that they land on Mars. Just drive that with something that has some radioactivity shit going on, which constantly produces warmth, and then they use thermic elements, which thermoelectric elements, which then produce some electricity when there's a difference between the two sides. So they have a cool side and a hot side, and the differential causes some electricity, and then they have thousands and thousands of these tiny things in there, and then that thing produces reliably, one of the most reliable energy sources there are, therefore space travel, this electricity. Okay, let's go back. Without jumping. And this thing is off, it stays off, and these things are on. So now, something I want to do. Eat, of course, but is there steel in here? Damn, we need to steal. We need to make some more steel. Did I collect some iron? Of course I did not! Fuck my life. Do I have some steel here? No. And there's a little bug in here. You can see the contents when this thing is on, but when this thing is off, you can also see the contents. I like that though. Then again, it's a bit weird, right? They did not have that. They do not have that bug in here regarding the tool manufactory, or this is the one with the bug because it doesn't show that when off. I'm not sure which one it is. I mean, visual association-wise, I would say this is proper and this is improper and this is proper, but I don't know. So let's eat something so the heavy breathing stops. We had enough of that in the previous video. No! There is such an unfortunate angle. Oh, the helmet is still closed?
Hunger caution.
Now, thirst. Major issue. Let's first see to that we... Wait, what's happening? It is not complaining? Wait a minute. Does this thing actually let gas through in both directions? Oh! That was completely unnecessary to vent that into the air each time. Bonk, bonk. And that's how it appears, you know? I didn't purify that. It happened by itself. So maybe this guy did it. So any pollutant anywhere, and anything urgent that we need to do somewhere. For example, let's see at the temperature here. It's 124. This is not available. Okay. Anything turned on here? Anything overpressuring? Let's first see that we get the plants going again, because they are kind of on a timer. Seeds. Seeds. Oh, fern seeds, right. And I should now swap the plants while I'm at it. That goes here. Take the ferns. And look here. What do we have? Oh, I need one more. Hilarious. Plants actually have genetic traits, and if you stack them, then the individual things in the stack will be remembered. So I assume that is not the fridge. I assume that if I stack these with the others, 9 hours, 5... Oh, come, look at that. 9 hours, 11 hours. If I stack these together, then even though it says 9 hours, some of them will be on the 11 hours timer, but I do not know that. I mean, 1 second. this tooltip has to kind of summarize stuff, and so I don't know what the logic is there. So no plants currently. Let's plant seeds here, and we feed ferns here, and that other stuff over yonder. Huh, funny how the base is alive due to electronics, due to logic. Okay, water is a concern. Now let's see to that we get more water. Do I have to... yeah. And then maybe it's... I don't know what front to look on next. Or maybe we should stop the video at that point. Not sure. Yeah, I should. I have some schedule today, so maybe after this I should stop. Let's see. Okay, 23 degrees. That is temperature at which liquid would, I mean ice, would melt. Let's put that hypothesis to the test. Also, how much liter can this thing take? 60 liters. A full 50 stack then, please. It is increasing. So if you want to drink something, all we need is a room that has some atmosphere that is not polluted. An atmosphere that is also not too cold, like above 0 degrees, so that the ice here would melt. This thing, which is the passive liquid inlet. And of course the water bottle filler. We don't need the crusher, which needs tons of electricity. Of course, a downside of what I'm just doing here is tossing down the ice will cool down the room. So ultimately, but I think the room temperature is often a more flexible issue than, for example, the tons of electricity that you need to operate the crusher, to drive the crusher, you know. Now we have still liquid in the room, and how much liquid is in the pipe? 21 liters. So let's be bold and toss both of these down. And enjoy the show. Turn on and off your stuff here. F3 is for the console, F2 is for this stuff, and F1 is for the help. Okay, how much liters do we have? This is once again one of those situations where I only think, what the fuck? Capacity 60 liters. 57.8 liters are in there right now, and the air... oh, there's still some... okay, but that's drifting over there, and then it will fuck off. And then we will this time think... well, actually, do we need that? No, we won't. I will just leave that up and assume that this will work. I can just interact with a gas in the pipe through this opening by using that thing. I mean, why shouldn't it go both ways? I was just wondering why there was gas in there in the first place. Huh. So if this were a smaller room, this would be really a reasonable approach. We just got tons of water in here without a crusher. And over there we have a crusher, and the only purpose for which we have used it so far is water. We got our oxygen straight from the planet, you know? So we don't need an ice crusher in this playthrough. Isn't that hilarious? So, how long is the video so far? 3.5. I mean, I actually would like to go to fuel mixing and all that stuff, but we have seen that it's very easy to accumulate a few hours to get a topic going and to play around with that. I would like to toss down some of that in a secluded room and some pumps and light on fire, igniter, temperature, overpressure, emergency opening door, blah blah blah, and then whatever, but not for now. So in a way, I just gave an outlook for the next video, hypothetically. Never know what the future brings, especially in Stationeers. And that's it then for today.